clarify, I'm not an actor. I lie for a living.
Depp also told the crowd this is going to be in the press, and it will be horrible. You're listening to the
Hey, how are you doing?
from NBC
Good.
News
I'm
Radio.
signing into everything.
Yeah, I just think through the whole. It seems like you control chaos. But
Yeah, right now I just got to get to the last minute. I try to set up this computer because it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. Here.
From little to big.
Thank you.
No, the big at the end, little in the center. No, I'll have to run downstairs and grab one if you don't.
Is it big in the?
You got them all. That's okay. I'll go
Yeah,
downstairs.
I thought we had a couple of.
Yeah, I probably have them all. I probably stole them all from you.
We now qualify for substantial relief. The IRS is now accepting reduced settlements, resulting in some tax debts being reduced by thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify for your reduction, call this new special service hotline now. 800-639-4402.
It takes so long to get rid of all this automatic crap that they have here. It's just amazing.
Get ready for
all
the Dream
this
Machine
stuff
giveaway. Speed away
on
a
this
2017
login.
Camaro and Lady Luck Blackhawk Sunday, July 2nd at 8 p.m. Or a 2017 Corvette
I
at
just
House
need
Casino
a
Hotel
fresh
Blackhawk
copy
Monday, July
of
3rd at 9 p.m.
They
Receive
use
one free
the-
entry day and earn more with play.
from.
Win a 2017 Camaro or Corvette during the Lady Luck and Isle Casino
Now
Dream Machine
everybody
giveaway.
uses it, but
Must
they
be
have
21.
all
Any
kinds
all
of.
terms, conditions, rewards, and/or benefits published or received are subject to change or revocation without notice. Eligibility rules and acceptance apply. Refer to official promotional rules. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you want luxury granite or quartz countertops at wholesale prices, you need to call Art of Granite. When they remodel your kitchen, they'll do your bathroom vanity for free. Call them at 303-386-5919 or online at artofgranite.net.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy. And
So Ryan, just let this in the camera that will catch you, and what I do, I'll put a banner when you talk and stuff, and then I'll put your banner for taking Andro. Sure.
I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was
And just let you know, we're on the internet right now.
Okay.
And so during breaks, they still see the internet. I switch over from the radio, so it's not as you don't have to watch your words as much on the internet as you do with the radio.
That feel great. Try Andro 400.
How many people
actually effective to boost your testosterone?
It depends. I mean, over the next few days, there'll be thousands. They don't all watch live. They come and watch the archives.
400-0435.
Okay,
We have a very big audience, and download-wise, we have hundreds of thousands. I mean, literally hundreds of thousands.
If you can relate,
So we have a very
we
big audience
recommend
that
a
way.
visit to your
That's awesome.
local Quality Auto Sound.
At Quality Auto Sound, we carry everything needed to quiet down the kids on those quick trips around town and those long out-of-town road trips.
Like our top 11.2-inch
Where's Albert?
screen with built-in DVD and matching headphones.
And Jeff.
Now, just one
How are you doing?
Marcos Ryan, yeah.
What's up, Brian? Not much anymore. Good, man. You got 2 locations, don't you? We do. How's biz, man? Those hailstorms in the springs in here got to help.
Yeah, they definitely do. We've
staying
pretty steady.
Yeah.
Especially in the springs, it's kind of our
Bread and butter.
bread and butter down
I
there.
am
So.
so
Cool.
glad I went to Quality Auto Sound. The kids
Cool,
are
cool.
so happy, and I love my new sound and features.
See our ad in the Westward and check out QualityAutoSound.com for special web-only coupons and the location nearest you.
That light bother you?
Want to lower your mortgage rate and payments? Wake up to Carrie Casem and Alex Michaels Sunday mornings at 10 as they bring you up-to-the-minute information. And
I never laughed so hard
mortgage
listening to
programs
Tom
Get Mortgage
start the
Radio
show yesterday on
6606.
YouTube.
6:30.
I swear to God, I laughed for a half hour straight.
Would you listen to it?
Yeah. He was talking about a joke that,
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. We have Car Day today. We do that, as you know, every Friday, Car Day, and today is no exception. But that doesn't mean we talk only about cars. We'll talk about anything you want. All you have to do is call. Problems, questions, or complaints. Here's the main thing we do. We help. I've been helping people in Denver, more than Denver, but just Denver, on radio for more than 40 years, TV for 32 of those years. Last 8 years I've been doing mainly TV commercials, but here's the deal. If you're new to town, or if you know anyone new to town, tell them about the show, because this is the place to get help. And before you need help, you can go to referralist.com. You know, so many people could avoid problems by simply going to the referral list. We have so many great people, and we get right directly in the middle. And yes, we do get directly involved. If you use our referral list, or not even, we help you. So that's what we have over any other list around. You know, I don't care what they say. They never, ever, 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 ever get involved. Never. That's it. You want to know the distinction? That's the distinction. We solve the problems. How's that? That's it. So, today is card day. We have some guests I'll talk about in a second, and I'll take all of your calls at 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. And we have some car experts that are late. I wonder why. What's going on with them?
Really odd, Tom. Really odd.
Well, yeah. So, anyway, folks, what I want to tell you is our experts, I ought to have a policy where I lock the door if they're not here by a certain time, like they do in exercise classes. Or IMAX, if you don't get in at a certain time, they close the door. Meanwhile, you can get your calls in 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255.
Hey, Arapahoe Hyundai came through. They canceled a deal, $63,000.
Well, let's talk about that. What was it?
Well, this guy called up. It was kind of strange. His dad, who's in the hospital right now, I hope he's doing better, went down there, literally purchased a car, $63,000, a Hyundai Genesis, and didn't leave with it. He literally bought it. All the paperwork was signed. Everything was done. And the kid calls up.
Why didn't he leave with it?
You know, that part I don't know. That's the one part no one knows. But the next day, the guy gets admitted to the hospital. At one point, he was in ICU. He had a lot of problems.
Do you know what it is, what the problem is?
You know, this was a guy that called in a couple years ago.
I helped him.
Whose wife was actually a prostitute.
High-priced.
High-priced prostitute. It was really bizarre. I think he had a mental breakdown, but he also had definitely physical problems.
When he found out about the high-priced prostitution, he contacted me. She found out that he was on to her. She tried to kill her husband and the kids with a fire.
Yeah, real deal.
We got involved. We got a prosecutor, obviously. She was arrested, and he entered because she was in with some highfalutin gangsters. You got to turn that mic off. You got to turn that off. And because we were in with some highfalutin gangsters, he got into a witness protection program.
Oh, it was crazy.
So he and his boys were in a witness protection program, and their names were different, and the woman, I think, was arrested. And
yeah, she was.
So anyway, and some of her cronies, because they were running a high-priced prostitution ring with married women.
Oh, it was nuts. But
anyway, so he ends up sick.
And he buys his car, and then the next day, or within 2 days, he's in ICU. So the son finds out he bought this car and is like, how do we get him out of this? We don't know how much he put down. We've got this car dealership calling us. So I met the kid down there along with Deputy Dan yesterday or the day before, I forget now, and they basically tore up the agreement. So there's no harm, no foul. It's like it never happened.
And so they never registered the car. That was the deal.
Nope, because he never left it. And this all went down about a week ago. I mean, this is pretty recent.
Oh, that's really nice of them to do that.
They did not have to do that. And I got to say this, too. I mean, I didn't even really have to really pressure them. They did the right thing.
Good. Mike, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so I have a judgment that was served to me back in April.
Against you?
Yes.
That means before this judgment there must have been some other kind of procedure, because judgments don't come out of thin air. They're usually awarded in, well, not usually, they're always awarded in court.
It was for a credit card that was past due amounts.
Okay.
Nipped me in the butt from back in my 20s.
Okay, I get it. So they came after you got a judgment, and then you just heard about it recently.
Did they hit you with interrogatories yet?
No, I was served in April. I called them.
When you say you were served, what do you mean by that, actually? You're not served with a judgment. You're served with a summons to appear in court, and then a judgment is then entered if you lose. So you're not served with a judgment. What were you served with?
I was served with the subpoena to court.
Okay. Did you go to court?
I did not, because I called Midland Credit Management, who took it over from Credit One Bank. I set up payments with them. I made a payment on May 17th.
But if you called them and did not show up in court, it's very likely they went ahead to court anyway and got a default judgment.
That they did not, because they did a continuance since I had set up payments before the court date.
Okay, then you don't have a judgment.
Well, here's the thing. They were supposed to send me a stipulation letter to sign for agreements for the payments.
Instead of judgment.
Right, and I never got the stipulation letter, so now I have court this Tuesday for the judgment hearing.
Okay, well, they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. You don't have a contract, they don't have to.
And they don't have a judgment yet.
Right, but my question is on this, if I don't go to that hearing and...
A judgment will be entered.
And they're going to serve you very quickly with interrogatories, and if you don't answer those, they might throw your butt in jail.
The interrogatories ask where your money is, or do you have anybody that owes you money?
I do not have anybody that owes me money.
No, what I mean is they're going to ask you all that. They're going to they're trying to look for your money. They're going to ask if you own a house, what do you own, what is it worth. A lot of people think they're smart and they ignore those interrogatories. Then that becomes another problem. It's not just a collection problem. It becomes a contempt of court problem where they can get arrested, not for the debt, but for refusing to go along with the process. So anyway, this is what's going to happen, okay? You're going to go to court, and if you owe the money, you owe the money. There is no defense. Your defense isn't, I can only pay so much a month. That's not a defense. Your defense isn't, well, I thought they were going to agree to a payment plan. That's not a defense. The only defense is that it wasn't a real debt, or they're lying about it, or they forged your name, or somebody forged your name. That's the only defense. Most likely you owe the money, right? Now, you said it was, when is this debt from? How many years ago?
Oh, Guy, at least 7 years back.
Well, they can only get a judgment 6 years back. So if truly it's beyond 6 years...
He made a payment on it.
When did he make the payment?
He said he was making payments, remember?
That started the agreement all over again. You know what? When they first contacted you, you could have told them to stick it. And what would have happened, you could have... If anybody tries to get sued on a debt, if you ever get served on a debt older than 6 years old, you can simply go to court and say that you protest or you ask for dismissal based on jurisdiction and expiration of the statute of limitations, which is 6 years for collection of debt. Now that's 6 years not from when the debt was made, for 6 years from when the debt was due. So you already got tricked into renewing it. So now you have to go to court and just fight your best case, and there will be a judgment entered against you.
Right. And that, you know, I want to make it right, and, you know, if I need to pay it, I'll pay it.
And you will. You will need to.
I guess my next question on that is, you know, say I do get the judgment entered, does the judge set up a court payment program? Or, I mean, because obviously I don't have...
No, they don't. They serve you with interrogatories. They'll ask where you work. They'll go after your wages up to 25%. They'll ask where your bank accounts are. Do you have any equity in your house? They'll ask you where your assets are. Right. And they'll go after them aggressively as fast as they can.
The judge does not set up a payment plan. You owe the money from day one. They don't set up a payment plan, okay? There is no payment plan. Now, that doesn't mean you have to pay. You don't go to jail for not paying. You only go to jail for not proceeding with the, not honoring the court's request, like interrogatories. You don't go to jail for not paying. So if you don't pay, you don't pay. You know, you pay what you can when you can, and then it keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. They can put liens on your house, on your car, on anything you own. If you want, you can do a bankruptcy. I'm not recommending that you do a bankruptcy for one judgment, but a lot of people find bankruptcy is a way out, especially if they feel it's unjust or they didn't know it.
Do you have a job?
Do you have a way to make payments?
What's that?
Do you have a way to make payments?
Yes.
Okay, then try to work out a payment arrangement in front of the judge. But remember, Mike, you're probably going to lose. Now, winkandwink.com, they're bankruptcy attorneys. I recommend them only for people that are buried, people who made mistakes, people who need a fresh start. Sometimes people are unemployed, or they had a death in the family, or they're, you know, a divorce or something, and they need a fresh start. They can do 13s, which is a structured payment, or they can do 7s. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com.
Hello, Al. What's happening?
Gentlemen, how are you?
What is Albert?
What's the good word over here?
It's gloomy as hell today, man.
I'm telling you, I'm feeling the effects. Sorry I was late. We're short-handed to work. Cheers. Hey, how are you? How are you?
Look at this. So, he feeds his uncle the wild dogs. We've known that forever. He also uses artillery meant for taking out planes. But that would be a quick, easy way. There's the dogs.
Hey, Ryan, do you want both Colorado numbers?
What's up, Jeff?
This is Colorado.
Erase my Century RV.
What do you mean? I mean, I used it last week.
Copy's gone. It's not in the folder.
It has
I
to
did
be.
finally hit from Kenny yesterday.
Let me see if I see it.
Did you have to pull the left off the plywood?
I might have copied it. The live?
Yeah, it's not in
Find, fix, or free any problem you have in your car for just $80 plus parts, or free. But you get more than just free. You get a complete diagnostic support.
Thank you,
Even
sir.
if they can't fix it, at least you'll know they've taken out all the unknowns. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858. And on my referral list at referrallist.com.
We are so close to launch, by the way. I was up till 2:30 with Amir. We are like, I thought we'd be doing it this morning, but there's one thing with the contract not working that I gotta have working. But the rest of it, it looks beautiful. And the one you want, the Troubleshooter site, is the one at troubleshooter.com right now, right? Or is it the...
No, it's the one that Troubleshooter.
Because there's two of them.
I'm going to show it to you.
Well, send me an email which one it is. I know, and I didn't know which one to get him moving on.
I don't know what fucking Al.
Hey, Al, what's going on? Yeah, we're top notch on chairs here. There's like 4 that don't work, and then the 2 that go up and down are ripped. So you got to make a decision.
Luckily, my friend showed me an app called Tackle.
Did you remove the Century RV by...
I'm looking at mine right now.
You found it?
No, I'm looking. I haven't got there yet. I'm trying to get to drive.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you get to it, send it to me.
But why would I have it? You wouldn't.
Well, you won't, because I just share about it.
But I might have a copy I made of it.
Good, you do send it to me.
Okay, let me see. House inventory. Century.
People who can help with all kinds of pre-priced small jobs and chores. Things like house cleaning, laundry, yard work.
I got it.
Mine just showed up.
I can have a tackle.
No, it just showed up. It just showed up. Honest to God, it did. It literally, it was like not loading.
It doesn't, it just says RV, it doesn't say copy.
It is that one.
Yeah, it's just busy.
Wait, another one just showed
That's
up.
fine. That's the one I was rebuilding. I don't want to do that now. That's good. I got it.
It's just slow to sync.
I just don't understand.
Is a much better way. On a $400,000 sale, you would save $10,300 with Colorado Property Realty. Why would you list with anyone else? Call 303-300-9660 or
This isn't bugging you, is it?
Realty.
Not media services anymore. Okay, good. I got all those.
Man, Suzanne scared the living hell out of me this morning. She woke me up. I was up till like 2:33. Finally get to sleep. She realized she didn't do something for our daughter to get her enrolled. And she wakes me up in tears about it. I think honest to God, I was ready to kill her when she told me what the problem was, because I'm thinking one of my parents died. That's how she woke me up. I mean, tears like you wouldn't believe. All over because she didn't register my kid on time. I said, my God, just email them. They're going to go ahead and do it. You're 12 hours late. They're not going to care. And of course they did. They went ahead and did it. But I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought someone died. I swear to God.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Today is car day. And we will get to that and introduce our experts. Chris, what's going on with you? Hello, Chris.
Hello.
What's happening?
I got a car that needs hail damage. I already got an estimate from my insurance. But everybody's so busy because of the storm that the repairs are out all the way up until next year, like as far as August. I was wondering if more damage happens in the meantime.
Yeah, they will. There will be two separate events. They will try to separate them, and then they will subtract they will give you have to pay 2 deductibles, and then they will attempt to do them in two separate situations. Have you called Flexident, by the way?
No, I haven't. I've been calling around, and everybody's so far out.
Flexident advertises every day on this show. Every single day.
Ryan, are you guys that far behind? A year?
Just wait a sec, please. Every day, Flexident advertises, and I want you to try them. 303-619-6273, FlexidentColorado.com, 303-619-6273. They have a lot of experience in paintless dent repair. If you didn't call them, then you don't. They have openings all the time. Okay, FlexidentColorado.com, 303-619-6273.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah,
plus we have a guest here.
Running into.
Plus we have a guest here today in the studio. With a paintless, just happens to be paintless dent repair, Ding Magic. They're coming in from the referral list to say hi. By the way, Flexident also on the referral list. Ryan, you're with Ding Magic. Do you have openings, or are you several weeks out? How is yours?
Well, for us right now, we do actually have openings. We're available anytime starting next week. So we do have 2 locations, one in Denver, one in Colorado Springs.
And their number is 720-242-6369.
Okay, and my biggest issue is my roof is going to need replaced, and that's where I'm running into the.
Now here's what a lot of guys do. This is how Nick works it at Flexident. I don't know how you work it, Ryan. Maybe you can tell me. But the way that Nick does it is he'll do all the repairs he can do, and then basically you go out and get the other repairs done. That's the way, unless, of course, you don't do that if they're going to total it. But if in fact, you have some paint damage and some not. A lot of people make the mistake that they have to go to a body shop, and they don't. They can get as much done as possible with paintless dent repair and then go get the roof or the hood or whatever. Is that how you've worked it?
Yeah, we've actually been able to do that for people. In fact, here in Denver, with the damage that's gone on, a lot of people cannot get into the body shops. The benefit with us is we do have a shop here, and we do have a couple shops that work here in Denver, but we also have shop down in Colorado Springs.
You mean a body shop?
We have a paintless dent repair shop.
That's what I mean. So you do as much as you can, but if there's too many dings, then it needs to be replaced.
Absolutely.
So, but you'll tell them that. You'll say, we can do this, this, and this, but we can't do this.
Right.
And you can split up those repairs, and there still will only be one deductible.
Hey, and Chris, with that roof, just call Michael's Auto Body. They're on our referral list, too, at referrallist.com, but they might be able to get you in, maybe not instantly, but within the next couple months.
Yeah, Chris, do me a favor, man. I'm glad you called the show, but use the referral list, referrallist.com. We don't do that for our health. I mean, that truly is is a very valuable tool, and you ought to spread it around. I'll tell you why. Yesterday we had this discussion. Every single person, every single one of them that called, we had so many people who called, they paid money down and got ripped off. Money down and got ripped off. Money down and got ripped off. That does not happen with us. And I asked each one of them, why didn't you go to the referral list? One lady just moved to town. She said, I didn't know about it. Some other people, they just found people on Craigslist. And another thing they do, they make a mistake of using people who have immediate openings, like contractors who can get to your house immediately instead of waiting 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes you have to wait for a good contractor to show up. So I just want to warn people that just because, and I mean this, I'm just going to say it straight out, just because you see them on a Johnny-come-lately list. I've been around for 25 years. We are the only ones, and I'll say it, I don't give a damn what they say about their algorithms or their patented algorithms and lead generation. That's all they are lead generators. We are consumer advocates. We get involved, and we kick the butts of the people on the list to make sure they do their job right. Were you going to say something, Al?
I absolutely do, because just on that note, I was at the other night, Steak 10, with a friend having dinner. The waitress is talking about her car, massive hail damage. She says, I'm afraid. I got an insurance check because I went by there. They told me I don't know where to go. I grabbed my phone.
Good.
I put it in and went through for a listen and put on there dent, and I got a list. And I said, you see this right here? Right. I go, how about this? She goes, would you share that link?
Yeah.
And the reason I did is not just to advertise.
And it's our fault. We were advertising on Channel 4 and Channel 9. We're going to do more of that. We just have to let the new people know.
I've used the referral list in my home and in my business. There are multi people have done tons of work for me.
But what are there, like 9,000 new people moving in a month? So we have to. Crazy. We got to reach them. We got to reach them. I think the airport's a good way. I do.
I could do a live.
I thought our new look was going to be up today. It's going to be next week.
Right. When we get the new look too, we'll do a big push on the new residents. And again, they would find Ryan there in Dig Magic. He said nobody has an opening. He just says, hey, we can get you in next week.
I could be a live billboard for you guys.
Okay, let's keep going here. Let's keep going. 303-713-8255.
Well, you open yourself up.
Steve, what's going on with you, Steve?
I have a question about what gas to use in a 2008 BMW 328xi.
What do you mean, what kind of gasoline?
Is it okay to burn regular?
Well, here's what we always say. It's okay to burn it if it's okay to burn it. Would you explain what that means, Al? Go ahead.
That's good stuff.
Isn't it? Because no two engines are exactly the same.
No, they're not.
Now, I would say if you had a high compression, close tolerance Ferrari or a really high performance car, a McLaren or something, you may want to go straight to high premium gasoline for the combustion retard materials. You want high octane, right? To retard the combustion, to keep it burning.
Controls the burn.
Right.
That's what it really
But on most cars, what would you say, 90% of the cars, guys?
Can use. And it really, a lot of it
can
has
use
to do
anything.
With the feedback system, the computer will make the adjustment for the octane.
Even if they tell you need what they call high octane or high test, they used to call it.
High test, remember?
Yeah, that's what they used to call it. High octane, you don't need it.
Well, he wanted to know if he could use regular gas, and my understanding is he should at least use unleaded.
Well, no, I don't think he meant that, Steve. Did you mean that?
Come on, man. Did you even sell that?
The unleaded, what is it, 85 or 87 octane? Is that
well,
okay?
Well, here's what you do. Use it and see how your computer adjusts to it. And if you hear any ticking or knocking, don't use it next time.
Right. So I want to give advice here to Steve. Steve, on those motors, they are famous for carboning up. They get a lot of carbon buildup. You need to have some type of system that you're doing for the intake runners that are cleaning it. You also do need to use the fuel additive. Don't buy the ones at the gas pump. Oh, my goodness. That's a great way to just lose money. Buy a high-quality professional product. We talk the BG product. Almost all the professional shops have it because it works. Do that for that car. It's going to extend the life of that motor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure, man. See, I think a lot of people just automatically do it because they think it's better for the engine. Not necessarily, right?
No, the cars, like you said, the high compression does require that. They claim, the BMW, that is. Now, I have a lot of European guys who will yell at me and go, no, they certainly do. It really comes down because they have the knock sensor. Knock sensor will retard the timing, will change the timing on the vehicle.
I think Tom put it perfectly. If you hear that ticking, then you go to a better one. You start at the 85 and go up if needed.
Now, I'm going to tell you a personal experience. I can say this now because I no longer am afflicted with materialism. Okay, I will tell you that I had a Ferrari. I say had because I said I'm no longer afflicted. And I used regular gas to find out what would happen. You know what happened? Nothing.
It probably ran great.
I could not tell.
Did you look just as good in that with regular?
Yeah, I looked like an idiot, and that's why I got rid of it.
That's not true. That's a weird thing to say.
No, that was a great car.
No, but that was a cool car. It was a long time ago. But what I really wanted to give that personal experience, that even in a Ferrari, it's a lot of bull.
Yeah.
There was you didn't need it. There was no indication whatsoever.
So Al, you're saying for that additive, you're talking like that Chevron stuff?
No, we use BG. We use the 44K for the injector stuff.
That helps.
So Mark plays in it. There are even those motors do induction cleaning, even better fueling. And if it's clean, those injectors you're getting direct from the we're telling people 20,000 miles. Yeah, we have one of the motors that's so carbon.
No, to add one of those every 20,000?
On the fuel pump?
Yeah, fuel pump.
Every time.
Every time? Really?
Every time put what?
That fuel additive for the injectors.
You're fucking crazy.
On the later models,
put 44K in every time you fill up.
What is the carbon now? No,
Give me another $25 a damn fill up.
No, waiting. No, like $7.
Yeah, how much is it? $17.95. Another $20.
Okay.
Okay, so
for every gas tank.
And now I charge about $3
on the late
off
model
your
for the freaking direct injection.
Let me think.
Tom,
Let me divide that out.
line 6 has a problem with the painting company. And
your price for, oh my God.
Totally.
I would do it. Why trade my
Did you email me this fix?
Before it matters, it was in health.
It's in
live.
Below sulfur, they don't have lubrication.
This is
primer pumps. Okay.
I ordered pizza, guys.
Standard every second time.
Wonderful. We love you. We loved you. Did you catch that?
Yeah, well, thank this guy.
Yeah.
Forget it, huh? Keep your card back, Jeff.
It's certainly a pressure to have you here. Thank you.
What did he do?
I don't know what I did yet.
The pizza.
Oh, yeah. Do you notice that you're looking down on him?
I was trying to feel my self-esteem go up. Only for a moment.
I think I might settle it under you, man.
I gotta run out my card and
So Mark, I did the math guy.
Yep.
So you would have to do 166 fill-ups with 44K to equal what it costs for me to pull off that cylinder head, decarbon, machine it, mill it, and do it all together. What I have to do and get carbon out. So at $18 a can is what I figured in that.
Al, I'm telling you, there is no one in their right mind.
I'm sending you pictures. I am sending you pictures.
He's saying every time you fill up, you put a $20 can of stuff in your gas
I go to
tank.
20 when I just told you $17.95.
$20. $17.95 plus
Every
tax.
time?
That's what he's saying.
We're like raising it to $1 a gallon, raising your
Easily.
gasoline $1 a gallon.
It cleans the motors.
But every time, bro.
I do it all the time. I do. We don't sell to our customers like that. But what we're seeing, are we seeing this? Dude, we're getting a lot of business out of this.
If the average Joe did it at least every 3 or 4 fill-ups,
you know,
BJ.
That Chevron stuff is the same stuff, right?
No.
Every mechanic I know in the entire
They love it.
world,
It's just their
call it BJ. They love it.
It's just their pricing model is so high. You know what that can afford? That can of 44K can't cost them more than $1, man. You know that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. Because it works. Well, no. I'm saying right now. That's a perfect example. It's just like medication.
They, unlike any other company out there, prove the chemistry by doing a lab before you even can do, and they show you what they're. You've seen it.
Yeah, of course. I sold the hell out of it. It's a great product.
Oh my
it's just so expensive.
Yeah, we do that EPR now. It's probably one of the big things we do.
I don't know if it's because it was so hot or not, but my air conditioning is still.
What's it doing?
It's starting to warm up again.
Is it only when you're
On that right
stopped?
side, what?
Is it only when you're stopped?
I'm wondering if it was because of the extreme heat, and that's just the way it is. It works perfectly after you fix it. I'm wondering, do I have a steady? No, you replaced the valves.
We redid the valves, because those valves were replaced. Yeah, we replaced them.
Well, could I possibly stop a leak?
You could definitely, yeah. Can I get it next week and get it in?
I'll do it.
Did you put, was there dye in it?
Yeah, they always.
So they'll be able to see it.
We inject it with dye.
I called with my credit card, right? Did I?
Yeah, you did good. You don't have a timer on the card, too. Like, if you don't pay, we take
Can you keep it on file? Are you allowed to? My card?
No.
Yeah, that would be so convenient for regular maintenance.
Yeah, with all the compliance regulations, I mail you for that. And for rip-offs, too.
Until now.
All your stuff's in a special law. But no, we'll get you next week. How about Monday?
Online.
Yeah, I'll put a reminder. Get it in.
Hundreds of dollars instead of thousands.
How about higher octane when they say for turbos? No, not a big deal. My Santa Fe is a turbo.
The same thing. The same applies.
And it says in there.
So does it have an intercooler?
$50 off your order. HelixSleep.com.
Okay, so those are things you need to learn on cars. Okay, intercooler cools the air. The problem when hot air goes into a motor, it does detonate. That creates a problem with detonation. That's why.
Oh yeah.
That's one.
So that could be one reason you need it, because the turbo's heating up the air.
Hyundai Santa Fe, 2014.
Sunday.
Hi, Tom Martino here. We have Al Aramis with Pro Auto Care. We have Jeff Vick with Kimmer Transmission. We have Ryan Smith with Ding Magic. All members of the referral list, referrallist.com, chiming in on your problems. Let's talk now.
This is a problem Joel is having with a painting contractor, and we'll get the painting contractor's perspective as well. As you know, we love when businesses talk. We give them every respect and every bit of latitude. Go ahead, Joel. What is the problem with R&R Painting?
Hey there, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, well, okay. Well, I hired a gentleman in February.
We're talking about R&R Painting, right?
Yeah, well, whatever they're advertising as this week.
What do you mean this week? What does that mean?
Well, you know, as I've done my research here, he's been really hard to find online other than the Better Business Bureau, but this guy advertises a handyman, a gutter company, an accountant.
Okay, I don't mind if someone's an entrepreneur, so go ahead. What's the problem?
I wouldn't give him my accounting work, but we have a house, nice little brick ranch with a basement and a back porch that had a gutter on it that was leaking behind the gutter, getting into the fascia, and I wanted to get it repaired. We had it built out when
I
we
understand.
moved in.
What happened?
Yeah. So I tried to get a hold of this guy to come out. He came out, gave me a bid for $200 to just fix the gutter, fix this leak on the one. And
well, hell, that's reasonable enough. So what happened?
I thought that was incredibly
What
reasonable.
happened? Is that all he charged was $200?
No.
All right.
So I gave him the money, and then the guy disappeared on me for 3 weeks. I finally got a hold of him, came back, showed up, said he needed $450 now, but
well, did he do anything for the 200?
No.
Okay, so why did he say he needed an additional $450?
He said he'd been thinking about it, and it actually needed more work than he'd thought at first.
Well, okay, hold on. That's fine, so long as he says to you, you know, by the way, I can't do it for $200. Right. I need another $450. So long as he says, and if that's not acceptable, here's your $200 back.
Absolutely, and I don't think we ever got to that point. You know, I wanted to trust the guy and give him some work. He's a small business.
So when he said it was going to take, $450 more, what did you say?
I said, explain the work to me, and he said, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get up and waterproof all the corners on the rest of your existing gutters, and we're going to make it look real nice and take care of you.
All right, so where does it stand right now? So you paid a total of $650, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I actually hired him to do a little bit more work. And
what else?
Some gutters on a garage.
Let's get to the whole thing. The entire job was how much?
$2,100.
Okay, let me ask you this now.
Yep.
The $2,100 job.
Yes.
You're not happy with any of it?
I'm not happy with any of it, Tom,
okay.
Sadly.
So what do you feel you got? Nothing in return? Zero or some?
No, he actually damaged my existing gutters, damaged my shingles. He never replaced this original gutter I hired.
But he did attempt, in his eyes, he attempted to do the work. In other words, in his mind, the job's done. It's not like he disappeared with the $2,100, right?
He admits that the work's not done and that the work was terrible, and he's
there's a difference between, listen, I'm trying to, Joel, I say this to every homeowner. There's a difference between not done and terrible. If some people do a job, it's done, but it has to be redone or they don't like it. I'm asking you, in his mind, is the job done?
No, it is not. He said it's not done.
Why?
Because the gutters all still leak that he added
That's
to the
not
house.
what I was asking. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
There's two different things. There's quality and there's quantity.
Yes.
If he said, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, did he do those things? I'm not asking if he did them acceptably. I'm not asking if it works. I'm not asking if it's excellent. Did he do the work?
Sure.
No. Okay, so now we have a question of value and quality. Because there's a difference. Let me tell you why I'm so insistent on that. Because if he didn't do the work, then he's a bum. If he did the work lousy, he might be incompetent but not crooked. I mean, there's a big difference, and I need to know how to handle it. That's why I'm asking. So in his opinion, he came and did a job, and you went, God, this sucks. I got to do the whole thing over. I have nothing here. And in your mind, the job is not just not done. In your mind, it was never done, right?
Yeah, I would say it was barely ever done.
Right, in your mind, right. That's what I want to get.
Right.
Now, let's find out what he thinks.
Sure.
So, Bob, is your name Bob Ross, really, and you're a painter? Is it Bob Ross?
Yes, it is, sir.
You know, there was a
sir.
famous Bob Ross painter who did the happy little accidents on the air, and then he actually had a happy accident and he was killed. But you know that artist on public broadcasting? You've never seen Bob Ross?
I think so.
He was.
He would paint while. I mean, you just would watch him paint.
A frizzy-haired guy. He was really fun. His name was Bob Ross. I thought it was funny. This guy's a painter named Bob Ross. Anyway, Bob, what about this job? If I went out to this job, Bob, would you be proud of what I see?
Well, respect to this job, Tom, and this particular client. First of all, I just want to say, Tom, I'm a big fan. Years ago, I did the smoking deal thing with you. I've been doing this for 20-some years, and I have never taken advantage of anybody. I'd like to make that very clear. And I'd also like to, you know, throw it out there that the work that was completed there was done to my best abilities and done to satisfaction where Joel was pleased, inspected, and paid for the work.
Okay,
And,
let me ask you something here, Bob, because I'm looking at photographs, and I don't know if it was like this before you got on the job or after. And Joel, maybe you can. What is it where there's all that wrinkled up flashing? What is that?
I'm not even certain exactly what that is myself.
I don't know what I'm looking at in these photos. It looks like on the corner where the shingles meet the gutter, there's a drip edge that's all crumpled up and crumbled up. Did you do that, Bob?
I worked actually on his house and his garage and his shed. I installed gutters. Well, actually, I had a subcontractor install the gutters.
But these gutters, if they were installed, the drip edge is literally crumpled up and nailed and screwed into the house. I mean, it is not right. And then part of the gutter is bent. I mean, did you see these photographs, Bob?
I did not see the photographs, but I can assure you, Tom, when I left that project, everything that I did and what my subcontractor did was up to spec. And, you know, we utilized his existing flashing in some portions. I don't know if you're referring to the house or the shed or the garage, and I haven't seen the photos, so it's hard for me to weigh in on it.
Okay, so Joel.
Yeah.
This corner where all of that flashing, that drip edge is crumbled up, and there's a lag bolt going through the gutter, which that's okay to attach the gutter that way, but the drip edge that should be around it.
Right.
Is that the way they left it?
Yeah, Bob actually dug a piece of metal out of my trash and screwed it up to the house and said it was a temporary fix and he was going to come back and do it the right way.
I mean, what I'm looking here, the gutter work. Now, did he do other work other than the gutter, or was it just gutter work?
It was gutter work, and he was going to patch some of the roof and ended up damaging a bunch of my shingles as well.
Well, that I can't see in your photos.
Yeah, I sent one photo of it there, but it just basically nailed new shingles over the top of the old ones and covered it in mastic.
Well, how did you want him to repair it?
Well, he was telling me he was going to lift out sections of the shingle and replace a few sections.
Tom,
yes.
if I may,
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Joel's house roof, his existing roof is a flat roof with shingles for one. It's virtually a flat roof, and the roof is well over 20 years old. And he was basically expecting, I guess, miracles, because what I'd done for him, I believe was well beyond what we agreed upon. And
yeah, but $2,100 is a lot of money, and
this looks like crap, man.
The gutters look like crap. Are they new gutters?
Well, here's the thing, Tom. That when he wanted to save money, and I told him I'm not a gutter guy. I hired a subcontractor. I told him it's not going to be seamless gutters. They're going to be sections of gutters.
No,
did you tell them they're going to be old, used, crumpled gutters?
They were brand new gutters, Tom. I got all the receipts. I bought brand new gutters. I did everything up to standards. Now I don't know exactly what is going on at this point in time because I can't talk to this fella. He talks around me. He's overbearing. And he doesn't give me the opportunity.
Listen, we wouldn't mind meeting you. Where is this house, Joel?
I'm in North Glen, about 104th.
We wouldn't mind maybe meeting the contractor and you out there together. He says you talk over him. I mean, I'd like him to explain some of this stuff. This is really, Bob, I don't know if this is your work or if this guy just dummied up some bad photographs, but the photographs we're seeing, my God, they're terrible. They're terrible.
I wouldn't believe everything that you see at this point in time, Tom, and I would love to meet with you guys out there.
Hold on, Mark. Would you be willing to do that? He's willing to meet us out there. We can videotape it. Hold on a second. This is a prime example where we're getting two completely different stories. We have Joel, the homeowner, saying, these look like crap. He sent us photos that look like crap. And Bob says, we did this job to the best of our ability, and we bought all new gutters. Mark, if he bought new gutters, then he crapped them up.
They sure don't look new. You know, the only thing that my spidey sense went up when he started stroking you at the beginning. I don't like that. I'm not kidding either.
Why is that?
Well, because I call it the Kalen Eccles.
It's impossible that somebody would like my show and be my fan? Is that what it is? Is that what you can't take?
That is not what I'm saying.
We got more coming right up.
Wow. Hey, let's arrange this, Suzanne, the two of them.
Did you see these pictures? Is there any way this is a new gutter?
Up there. Mark, I gotta go to my car, okay? Mark,
look at this.
Oh,
is there any way that's a new gutter?
Mark, I gotta go to my car, so start the second.
I didn't know how they would have done this.
And look at this other part.
Wow. I didn't know how they would do that. Yeah, I know it. I didn't know what they would do here.
Friday there, northbound I-25, stop and go. Starting just south of Alameda, and just found some scratch.
And like I say, this is just, holy cow. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
He was giving the old blowjob, though, wasn't he? Was that just me, or you?
Oh, no, it was just like, remember when you guys called me from the guy, and the guy goes, hey, Jeff, this is...
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm going, oh, man.
Hey, I got a buddy in my corners. Yeah,
there's no problem with it.
So I'm going to tell you real quick, I just called Tom. So listener, comes and shop with the customer. He said during the break, here was one time, Tom was telling somebody to get a hold of Stephanie and it gave her cell phone number.
Oh, wow.
He heard it, and he goes, I'm sure he doesn't want that out there.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's something that we kind of miss about this.
Yeah,
we're right, we forget.
He forgot there.
Oh, yeah, we all do.
The worst I ever did, I almost gave a password out one time.
I told Jeff he looked good when I'm on break.
I know. Well, I cut that real quick.
He likes to be a little bit more subtle when he's cruising for a piece of ass.
Oh my God.
He was like saying when they go, oh, great fan. I've seen this.
We laugh a lot.
Mostly an Al's expense, but
yeah. Oh, trust me.
Big shoulders.
They have taken me many shots.
You guys come in.
I used to have a high self-esteem of myself.
We brought him into reality.
I feel like a Democrat now.
No, what he's saying.
I just don't know anymore.
I actually feel bad I made all those calls now. I'm going to talk about that. I handled this problem, and then towards the end I realized the guy was unreasonable.
Oh.
And then I find out just a few minutes ago that the company's going to go ahead and give him a full refund, which I don't think he deserves at this point.
How many times
But yesterday I did.
Which one was it?
You bought a brand new grill, Weber grill.
Oh, yeah, I heard it. Yeah, and at the end, it didn't matter what solution you got. The guy just
at the end, it came down to it wasn't the color he wanted, and the grill was too heavy, which is fucking ridiculous.
It's like, well, what are you carrying this thing to? It's a grill.
You
It's a grill. You go up there.
don't have to push. He's 75 years old. He must have to push it around.
Oh my! He lives in an apartment, maybe up on an apartment, can't have it out.
So,
well, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's check our propane tank in the apartment. No, I don't think so.
Corporate manager. No,
I think true. Oh my God! Place actually gave $5,000 to them every day.
And dumb people having kids.
No, there's many of them.
Well, here's the only thing I do. I think it is BS, though, where if you buy a grill anywhere else, they'll take it back in their normal thing. And Ace Hardware decides we're only going to give you 0 days when it comes to gas power.
Sorry, I was dealing with the call. So with those two, the painter and the homeowner, do I just need to get you all the info so you can reach out to them to meet with them?
Yeah, but they're going to have to do it on my time. In fact,
come on.
I'll be there in 45 minutes if they can both be there. Right now would be the best time.
Okay.
You said call.
I'll haul ass.
What? Cool.
Glendale?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, make sure they're just right up 104th.
Okay.
Yeah, not 104th and go east for 98 miles.
Exactly. Outside Riverdale.
Glendale's small.
I told this one guy I'd help him look at a bar. He calls up, he wants to buy this bar. And, you know, he wants to know about how much it's worth, how much should I offer, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, I'll do that for you. Maybe I'll head up, you know, a Friday night. I'll meet you up there. That way we'll see if the bar's busy. We'll get a few drinks, talk about it. I'll walk around, blah, blah, blah. He says, I'm thinking it's at Watkins, because I used to go out to the Watkins airport all the time. It's east. It's not that far, and it's not close, but I'm like, cool. Well, it was in fucking Wiggins. Wiggins is like Kansas. So he's out there, and I'm headed to Watkins, and I put the address in. It doesn't exist. So I call him up. He goes, no, Wiggins. And I never even heard of Wiggins. I pop it in, and forget it.
It's a good car trip for you and Suzanne.
All right, folks, Tom will be right back up.
He's running down to his car. I got to tell you something, though. Yesterday, if you were listening, we had a caller that called in and said, hey, I bought a grill. I bought a gas grill. I bought it from Ace Hardware, and I don't like it. It doesn't work. It doesn't heat up over 300 degrees, and they won't return it. Well, sure enough, their policy, for whatever reason, is they do have, you know, a 30-day warranty or a guarantee on most things, but on this particular deal, this grill, they would not return. Tom, so I've got an update on the grill from yesterday.
Well, hold on, though. The guy was phony. He didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. You know what sucks? How long did I spend? I spent about a half hour on the phone.
Now, he was correct in this. Ace won't guarantee grills.
What they say is gift cards and gas-powered outdoor equipment cannot be returned once used. Period, end of story.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Weber was willing to fix it.
Of course, all he had to do was call Weber, and what did we find out towards the end of the show?
That he really didn't want it fixed.
He didn't like the color.
In fact, I'm not sure it didn't work.
Here's what sucks.
What?
I just got something from the lady I talked to at corporate. This is so weird I'm saying it sucked. Yes, from Ace.
And they're going to give his money
They're going to give his money back. This is one of those
times. This is one of those times we don't want the consumer to get their money back.
I fought for it. I got it. But now I'm like,
no. I know what you mean. A lot of times we get involved in a situation and the merchant gives in and we don't want him to. We're not always on the side of consumers. We're on the side of right. Most of the time, we want the consumer to be made whole.
Yeah, at first he acted like, hey, it doesn't work, they won't do anything, and then we find out he doesn't like the color and it's too heavy.
Yeah. Now, David at Honest Accurate Auto on a referral list in the Springs looked at a vehicle. Oh, I'm sorry, not David, but the Honest Accurate Auto looked at his car. David had a complaint. David, what was your original complaint, sir? What was your original complaint?
Alarm dropped out, sir.
What's that?
That the frame was rusted out so bad a control arm dropped out while driving down the road.
And you bought this as is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we wanted to know, was this something so obvious they would have had to have seen it? Because buying a car as is as is. Why did you think that you should get around the as is?
The vehicle is no longer drivable, sir.
And here's what we wanted to know. And we asked Norris at SOS, who really took this as a, he takes this, what do you call it? This charity? No, not this case, but he takes this issue to heart, this safety issue. The law is ambiguous, but it says a car must be safe to be sold. So even though it's as is, it has to be basically safe. But it doesn't address specifics.
I wasn't around. Does this car, if you look at it, just have rust everywhere?
No, just underneath, right,
okay.
David?
Yes, sir.
So David's contention is it should not have been sold, even as is, because it's unsafe.
Was it from a dealer?
Yes.
So now, what dealer was it, David?
It was the Alcera Chevrolet on Bijou and Academy, now Mike Maroney Chevrolet, sir.
Yeah. And now Mike Maroney did not take on the responsibilities, but I know that guy from Miami, and he runs a good shop. So here's what I want to know. What about Honest Accurate Auto? What did they see? What did they find?
It's a lot worse than I even thought it was, sir.
Well, you know, just because they find problems, though, I'm talking about problems we can do something about. What did they find?
Yes, sir. I did send in a copy of the report.
We have it. I'm asking you. I'm asking you to talk. What did they find?
Issues with the cross members, issues with the frame, issues with the U joints.
Do they think it's been in an accident?
He didn't say he thinks it's been in an accident, but he said to me it should have never left the lot. It should have never been driven.
Is it? Did I hear you right? The company you bought it from is out of business. They're no longer there?
I believe they were bought out. Yes, sir.
And I don't think you could blame the next guy in line.
No, he'll never. No, he won't get Maroney to do it. I mean, if these guys are out of business, it's kind of a moot point now.
Why didn't you get it checked out?
To be honest, sir, the two gentlemen I was working with that still work at the dealership, they're veterans, and I trusted them to take care of me.
Yeah, they're not going to. Listen, did they say that this car is basically crap and not worth fixing?
Yes, sir.
I want to get them on the air, Suzanne. I want to get the honest
Jesse.
I want to, whoever looked at this car, I want to get on the air. We have a lot more to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. I want you to stick around, 303-713-TALK. Get your calls in. We'll get to all of you. I promise, 303-713-8255. We have auto experts. Now, of course, we can talk about other problems as well. Give us a call. It is car day, but we talk about anything. You know that. That's 303-713-TALK.
Here's a problem with it. I love Norris.
Two things happen when you get...
The one problem with Norris, though, is how do you take this safety? You sell someone a car with steel belt coming out of the tire, I'll agree with Norris every time. But if the ball joint's a little loose or the control arm's a little loose, does this mean you can't sell used cars anymore? That's the only thing that drives me crazy about Norris.
This is not accurate. This is Norris.
No, but Norris is saying you can't sell a car if there's any safety issues. So therefore, you got to say, okay, what is a valid safety issue?
Exactly.
What does that mean?
And it's very vague. Right. So think about this: with windshields, all dealers will change out the glass because they say that's a safety issue.
That's right. And tires, if there's lower than 2/32
now,
or whatever.
Who has a rock chip in the window? I do.
Everybody.
Have you ever had a cracked window and drove it? Yeah. But they don't want to get the issue where they say, well, now it can't restrain. That's the part of the window it's supposed to restrain.
How about a bumper? Rear bumper severely cracked. So if your bumper's cracked, does that mean it's a safety issue? Because if someone hits you, you might die quick.
That's just a covering.
That's just a cosmetic.
Yeah, it's a cover.
Okay, how about a ball joint that's loose? At what point is a ball joint, at what point is the tolerance a safety issue?
A VA accountability bill is in the books. President Trump signed the
Dan, go in there.
in a White House demo today.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you're cooked.
Take your stuff.
It was him, not me.
I'm going to grab my backpack.
You know, it's true. I mean, when is the ball joint? Ball joints can be loose and ball joints.
I'll tell you, here's one. How about a horn? We had one call in, the horn didn't work. They wanted to return the vehicle after driving it X amount of time because the horn did not work. So is that a safety issue?
It would be, wouldn't it? It's a requirement of safety.
My point is you could argue anything. How about if your window doesn't roll up? Window doesn't roll up. Safety issue? Convertible top doesn't close. Safety issue? I mean, I don't know the answer to it.
Yep.
Headlight out.
Tell Suzanne which shop it is, what address it is.
Oh, honest accurate. It's 719-638-1800. Got it?
I just assumed Jesse was Jesse, but I forgot they have two offices there.
Johnny Depp's going off the hook, man.
That's a couple days ago.
Well, they say not just because of this Trump comment, but they said they found a bunch of emails or something that he admitted he beat the hell out of his wife or his ex-wife or some shit.
Well, he's going broke. He's selling everything.
How did he go broke? There's no way the pirate can go broke.
Yeah. Sure is.
I heard the last
Hijack another ship.
Just need to get another.
Yeah,
go over to Somalia. Yeah, go over to Somalia and hijack a ship.
I haven't been to a movie.
I generally don't like going to movies because I don't like the people in the theater.
I like the Aurora Movie Tavern. It's the only place I'll go watch a movie now. They got big leather recliners that are all electric and come up, and then waiter service. Their food's like, you know, they got like wings and hamburgers, stuff like that.
Bar food.
Yeah, bar food. And then you get a beer there. It's pretty cool, man. And now even
We get
better.
the Alamo over on Santa Fe does the same thing.
I know, it's beautiful. It's twice as much.
To make sure your home is covered.
They do cool stuff too, like they might have, you know, an old movie come back or something.
Well, they were the ones that caused a little controversy because they had a women's only showing for the Wonder Woman. So,
Women's only.
Women's only. So
What was the cut? People didn't like it.
People didn't like it. Oh, that's discriminatory. This, that, and the other thing.
It's like one person.
See, Alamo says, "You're right. We'll do 2 showings now." It's like, hey, good for you.
That's so weird. Who would complain about it? I know. That's like, first of all you
people
that
do
bitch
go in-
about ladies' night.
Just go in and say, you know, I self-identify as a woman. Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
Damn. Here, take this with you.
Switch me over.
Do I get a crossover? You got it?
Yeah.
I'll get it. Remember that? Someone sued over a lady's...
Yeah, so they changed it to skirt night.
Is that what it was? You had to
it
wear a
was
skirt?
after the gold rush. It was after the gold rush. You used to be able to go off the 6th of the Sheridan, I think. And they always had the ladies' night.
They said, hey, man, why do ladies get a free beer?
I said, all right. So they changed it to skirt night. And they would have guys show up in skirts for free drinks.
That's right. They did the $3 Long Island iced tea pitchers. They used to look across the street. That was not good.
We went to this, we went out to one of our members, and they were right across, literally across from PT's strip bar. And I'm thinking, Jesus, that would suck. I mean, because usually in PT's, I didn't realize how big of it looked like a 3-story building. But you can't say in your advertisement, right across from PT's, you know? I was like, oh my goodness, what a crazy part of town this must be coming up at 5 or 6 o'clock.
On Evans, the industrial park.
It was Paradigm Flooring Company. They got a beautiful showroom. Everything right there is gorgeous.
You like it? Are they good?
Oh, they're great.
I'm looking for a flooring.
But when you go, call them. They'll even come out to your house if you want them to come out and look, kind of bring the showroom.
Sorry, they just bent right over this Ace Hardware.
I know. Do you see it now? I feel like that was my doing too. That's the problem. Sometimes we're a little more powerful than we think, and then
How much was this group?
$1,000. If you're a big Weber fan, to me it's not worth it. I'm a Charbroil guy.
I like my Weber.
Oh, I do like Webers.
I got a Genesis.
Genesis, beautiful grill. I like the infrared, so that's why I always go.
I like that too. You know, what you guys have said about the steaks, about
It's going to be a minute or so. He's with a customer at
that makes a massive difference. I would have never.
The best way to cook a steak, if you have it, my green egg, I get it up to about 1,000 degrees, sear it for 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, both sides. It's like it's from Del Frisco's. But it takes, you know, an hour to get that green egg up to 1,000 degrees.
I get up about 600. Maybe that's hot, man. Like, woo!
Oh, that's real hot for a gas grill. It's crazy hot.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It locks the juice in the steak.
Yeah, I know. It does. Searing.
Putting a high temp on there.
They came out fabulous on this. I do that on mine. I get my gas up to about 600. I'll only cook on the green egg. Man, not often. It's the best thing in the world, but it is so hard to do. It's just a pain in the ass. If you're going to smoke it and cook something for 12 hours, then it's not bad. But just to cook a steak or chicken, man, it's so much work.
To clean up and everything?
Just to get the real fire going. I mean, it's real fire.
Oh.
Yeah. It's natural charcoal.
I like my gas stove.
Yeah. Like my smoker, but what I use it.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around.
Hi, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. What's new in your life? How can we help you? All you have to do is call. Today is Car Day. Spread the word about help. This show helps, whether it's cars or anything else. We do emphasize cars on Friday, but you can call about anything you want. We have experts in the office and in the studio every Friday. Al Ramos from Pro Auto Care is here today. So is Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. And then from the referral list, we invited Ryan Smith in from Ding Magic. He brought his lovely wife, I believe. Is that your wife with you? And does she work with you in the biz?
Yes.
What does she do?
She does a lot of the hands-on stuff with the office.
Oh, but does she know how to do the Ding stuff?
She does not.
Do you? Do you?
I do, absolutely. I've been doing it for 20 years.
20.
Yep.
I wonder how you learn it. Is it hard to learn?
It is a very tedious process. A lot of patience required.
Is it all the tools?
A lot of tools, being able to see the tool and the reflection of the light. But you can
overstretch it. Once you do that, you're done, right? If you overstretch it?
It can be. If you do overstretch it, it could be too much, and we call it oil canning, where it just pops back down and doesn't stay up. Yep.
Anyway, 303-713-8255. If you have any questions, problems, complaints, give us a call, of course. And since it is Car Day, I want to tell you about Rockies, 63rd and Federal. You can get a used car, truck, SUV, or van at Rockies with 40 lenders to choose from. By all means, shop around. If you want a great deal, go to Rockies and look at their fantastic selection. That's what I love, because they have all makes and models, sizes, shapes, colors, and years, and price ranges. 303-426-4646. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 303-426-4646. That's Rockies. And it is Car Day, so I thought I'd mention them. And let's go on to the phone. Do we have anyone from Honest Accurate Auto yet?
The guy that we need to talk to is with a customer, Tom, so I'm just waiting for him.
All right, good. Then I'll go to other calls. Let's see who's been waiting a while here. Oh, sorry there, Roger. Okay, Roger, what's happening?
Well, not much today, guys. Thanks for taking the call, of course. I've got an 02 Ford Super Duty F-250, the wonderful 7.3, which is a wonderful vehicle.
It is?
And here's the thing. It's only got 75,000 on it, which is no miles. But here's the deal. I've noticed over the last 8-9 months that I've got oil at the Y pipe where the intercooler pipes go to the turbo. And I've noticed they're getting some oil at that Y pipe. And under hard acceleration, I no longer hear the little whistle of the turbo. Do you guys think maybe the turbo has perished?
The turbo could definitely have an issue, and then when you start seeing oil in that
Well, are
area.
you getting boost? Do you have a boost meter?
No, this one doesn't have a boost gauge, it being an 02, but...
Can you tell, though? Do you feel any difference? You guys, you can usually tell when a boost, when a turbo's, right? You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You can start feeling it, and it starts going away.
Well, how does it feel to you, first of all? I just wanted to ask.
Oh, it's still got a bunch of kick. It'll still paste you in the seat, but...
Does it still feel like it's kicking in a turbo?
Yeah, it does.
All right, so what were you saying?
You could have boost. What's happening is, within the turbo, you have seals. It's under pressure, and those seals start going out. And you start, a lot of times it's the bearing, too.
I guess.
Bearing causes the seal to go out.
I guess what we ought to talk about, I always pride myself in saying, especially to our female audience, and I don't mean to talk down to you at all, but many female people, many female listeners, they're not attuned to the individual specs and how things
names
work.
And terminology.
And we assume when we say boost, and anyone listening who may not be familiar, a turbo is simply an air compressor. I mean, for lack of a better word. And it takes the air in to the intake, and instead of just going through a filter and being passed into the combustion chamber, it's compressed. So the air in the combustion chamber is thicker and fatter and better than normal air, and therefore you get more power, right?
Absolutely. More molecules of air. Supercharger is essentially the same thing.
They're both the same, except one is run by the engine and one is driven by the exhaust, right?
One's driven by the belt, one's driven by the exhaust.
And the turbo, driven by the exhaust, does it in itself, even though it creates power, the laws of physics tell you it's bleeding power as well.
Sure, everything has a percentage of inefficiency, but
it boosts more than it takes.
If you think of this, the exhaust is waste going out. The other part of the wheel of a turbo is the compressor portion, which pressurizes the intake side.
Right, so you're utilizing the waste stream.
Exactly.
But it's still, when you cut down the exhaust, you are sacrificing a bit of power. Yes or no? Or
yeah, I'm sure you would. Absolutely. But because the ability to compress so much air into a cylinder, the power curve is so much stronger.
You get so much more than you sacrifice, is what you're saying.
You do.
So in your case, Roger, it would have to be a check, because it could be going and maybe not completely out. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's what happens, and it's because they run for so long, and the temperature. Many times, a lot of people that drive turbo vehicles, they're up on the power. They come to a stop and flick the motor right off. That right there is one of the worst things you can do, because that turbo wheel is just spinning, but your oil supply stopped. And so now, all of a sudden, you are cooking the oil inside that turbo, and that can cause a lot of problems. Most people have turbos, they've never been told.
Can you have a fire?
Can you have a fire? I guess you could, couldn't you? But it's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen a turbo be on fire.
Roger, do you have a specific question other than they told you got to get the turbo checked?
Okay, the question is one, we did put a turbo timer on it years ago, so that helps. But secondly, should I replace it with another Garrett, or should I upgrade, or are there better upgrades in the same kind of price range?
Well, that's a personal question there. I mean, really, it really is. I mean, there are people that will argue you have the best. There are others that say there are better ones aftermarket.
Right. It depends what you're trying to accomplish. You can change the spool up with different turbos.
Yeah, we tow fifth wheel. That's what we use it for.
And what would you like it to do better?
No, I'm just wondering if the efficiency is, should I just replace it with Garrett because of the efficiency, or is there a more efficient unit that does the same thing?
You know what? There are so many, like Tom said, there's so many turbos that fit the different needs based off the weight you're hauling and stuff like that. There are turbo size. We just bought a turbo for a Subaru where I'm building one with my son, and we bought one that has a much quicker spool up because they lack that. And so for us, it's the ability to be quicker off the line.
With towing, you don't need that, though.
But with towing, what you want is the power. Exactly. It's all about the torque.
Yeah, so you go, if you want one that's quick and off the fly, and spends itself quickly, then you go with a different kind. If you want one that generates torque and is slow and steady, that's what I would want for towing. Isn't that what you want?
Absolutely. You want efficiency of fuel and the most power. That's what you're looking for.
All right.
And a Garrett's a great unit.
We do have David on the line and Ted. And Ted is with Honest Accurate Auto. Here's what happened. David bought as is from a Chevy dealer in the Springs. He bought as is a car, and he says it's basically rusting apart. And I said, look, it's as is, but he says it's very unsafe. So we wanted Honest Accurate Auto to look at it to see how bad it is. And so Ted Slosky down there, Surface Advisor, what did you find, Ted? And we appreciate Honest Accurate Auto doing this for us. What did you find?
What we actually found is the frame itself is badly rusted and rotting out.
Like really bad, like it's going to fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
The passenger side control arm mount is about to completely off. Rear bumper is severely rusted and cracked, and if you start to, and that's where you mount your spare tire. If we were to mount a spare tire, it would probably just fall off.
Is it worthless?
Spare tire.
Is it worthless?
Unless you would put in a whole brand new chassis frame underneath it, yes.
Oh my God. Well, then he may have a case. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but the company's gone.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Doggone it. How much did you pay for that, David?
About $13,000.
Golly. Oh man, this sucks. This really sucks. I don't know what to say. You know, maybe should we try to call down there? Did that ownership change already happen, didn't it? How long ago did you buy it?
I bought it in, I believe, May, sir.
We got to find out when Maroney took over. I doubt he's going to take on any. He doesn't have to. These sales were all made before he bought it.
Not only doesn't he have to, most likely, unless he bought the stock, but why would he? Why would we ask him to?
No, we wouldn't ask him to. I mean, Ted, I feel bad for this guy. I mean, this thing is dangerous, you're saying?
If it were mine, I would. Matter of fact, just as far as my shop foreman, we're afraid to even bring it in and out of the shop, you know, for overnight storage. We just don't know what's going to break next.
Does that company that sold to that new one, do they have other locations, or that was it?
Like, is that guy totally out of all business, David?
No, I was told they're out of Michigan now.
I wonder if it's the same corporation. We're just going to have to look. David,
did we ever get the actual paperwork on it with the company
Send us
name?
the paperwork, okay? Send us the paperwork. We appreciate honest, accurate auto helping us out here. Folks, it's a dark day, man. It's a dark day on that kind of stuff. You got to really watch it when you're buying a car. That's why I always tell you to have them checked out. By the way, another car topic, RVs. I always say they stand for real vacation. Century RV, north of Denver on I-25 and the 119 turnoff. They have new and used RVs, and more importantly, they have a service department. Steve Hotta runs a great place. If you want Keystone, Forest River, Dutchman, Heartland, Cougar, and more, they even have some used buses up there from time to time, and big Class A motorhomes. I mean, whatever you want, you can find there. Give them a call, 303-453-1111, or stop by on Frontage Road. That's I-25 on the Frontage Road, right near 119.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers. Of course.
Yeah, that's terrible. Delays on the north end of town due to a crash on northbound I-25 and Highway 7 north of Southwest Parkway.
He didn't even look underneath the car. He did
20th.
That rust is just
They won't even bring it in the shop.
I mean, you can should just look
in the lane downtown on northbound I-25 approaching 6th
That's gotta be
Avenue.
an easy
A couple crashes off highway to watch out for.
So, is this R&R Gutters, the one we already had on the air?
Valley Ranch. The crash coming in northbound Santa Fe approaching I-25. The weather forecast. Well, there's going to be a slight chance of showers throughout the rest of the day with a high of only 66. Right now, we've got some foggy conditions here and there in the metro area, and it's 50. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K.
Did you see that email, Tom, where the guy that yesterday, Greg Martinez, he put a number out on the air, somebody called him, and he said, he texted him back, says, we're going to sue for slander.
Good. highly recommend when people say they want to sue me for slander or whatever, and I say good, because then it opens up your books to me. Because you're claiming loss,
remember,
so I get to see everything.
Right, but the guy that called up says you were too hard on him. You know,
Paul at Paradigm Interiors from
Tough. I mean, he made the basket today.
That's good.
I mean, that was just a good cause. And he showed up to work in an RV every time. So I think he was living out of the RV.
We'll also come and visit you. 303-630.
Not a contractor you want to see.
How big is your following on the Facebook stuff? You guys get this personalized attention.
At any time, we'll have like as if 1,000 giant warehouses.
But it's
then it posts, and then they have thousands, like 10,000 or
so cool.
That was yours. This must be his mine now. What do you mean?
I did a live. That's actually what I hate about this. And I was people were talking about getting your car ready for some. I was like, holy cow! And they're talking that within the next 4 years, video is going to move so much of the marketing. It's going to be a big thing.
Well, here's the thing. Now, local TV. What is it? I mean, you won't need it.
I don't watch it.
I mean, really. I mean, local TV is a joke. Local
joke. It's stupid. Stupid.
I mean, actually, local. I'll be honest with you. Local radio is too. I mean, with podcasts and stuff. That's why iHeart is doing the iHeart Radio app. That's why we need a niche in what we do. That's why I do what I do. I mean, you can't get this just anywhere. But for just regular news and regular shows, why do you need a local newscast? You can go on YouTube or anywhere, and any app in the world, and download news. You can see news all day long.
That's right. And read it too. You know, that's the other thing.
Thousands of dollars.
So the live feed, are you okay if I do a live with myself answering auto questions?
What?
If I do live answering auto questions.
That's cool.
The dangers of fidget spinners.
I'm testing. I'm going to do it.
The
only thing I got to figure out
hidden dangers of fidget spinners. Are you kidding me?
Sound.
I never even realized that was going on. Those fidget spinners.
Questions. The only thing I don't have
Kids up more, give them some chores, right?
What we ought to do, if you ever want to do that,
playing cards and these guys have made
we should do something like,
you know, and I never figured out. Then I found out later that's such a big thing.
Another hour,
Just so you can.
I mean, that would be a natural.
That would be
cool. It's crazy. That to me.
Even if you're not here for that, day out takes over. Right? Oh, absolutely. We got to figure out the
Spend $10 on it.
Well, you will get the comments though. You don't have to figure anything out. Mark will tell you. Mark's pretty good at it.
But you know what? That's why you're going to the old days. You put a rock in your pocket where you rub rock, and after years and years.
Glad the band thing like we always do.
What?
Fidget spinners. Do you have one?
Fidget spinner.
You don't have those weird.
Dude, honestly, somebody's rich making those. My sons have them. Alex ordered three
you know
of
what?
them.
They're great. And I used to have. That's right. A worry stone. Did you know that?
No. I mean, that was a big thing. It was
No, but it really
Tom had a pet rock.
No, I had a flat.
And just would rub it in your pocket.
And that's the fidget is kind of like that.
Wow.
The worry stone is.
But they're doing this in school and getting.
I used to have the squeezy. The squeezy was the best.
The squeezy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The stretch ball.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate.
Going on 40 years in Denver, fighting for you. We are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and remember, referrals at referralist.com. Please spread that word, folks. It is such a shame when people could just take one step and save themselves heartache of rip-offs. Okay, let's go and see what's going on in your life. Andy, what's happening? Hello, Andy. Andy.
Hey, guys.
78, what?
Yes. International Scouts.
I love them. Do you know you can't kill them?
Well, this one hasn't moved out of the driveway in a little while.
I had a Scout we used for our news vehicle on Channel 4, and it had like 300,000 miles or more on it. And then one of the photographers bought it. You know, they would sell the news vehicles, and I bought it for a few $100, and I think it went for another 10 years. It's unbelievable. So, but yours not working?
Yeah, so I've had this problem where I get this intermittent backfire out of the carburetor.
By the way, how many miles? By the way, just
you know, the VIN number is a 78, but everything else is pieced together, so I'm not 100% sure on the mileage on the motor.
And what about the last time you drove it?
I drove it around the block yesterday.
Oh, okay. So what's your question then?
But so I get this intermittent backfire out of the carburetor, and it's only when the motor warms up. And I've replaced plugs, wires, rejetted the carburetor. I put a electronic ignition system on it, and still just getting this problem.
Guys?
Well, you know, the first thing I started thinking is maybe the car has a cough. Might need a little cough medicine. That's a joke. It's not true. It isn't. A backfire is simple. It is basically a valve being opening and the vehicle is firing back up the carburetor. A lean condition of a carburetor can do that too. Lean means not enough fuel. When it's lean, it actually burns quicker. When it's wet, if you would, that's rich, and that's just too much fuel. On those Scouts Notorious, what I would check on that one, if because of the age, I would put a wrench on the front dampener pulley, find the size of the bolt, nut and wrench, and then I would take the cap off the distributor, and I would turn the car counterclockwise till I saw the distributor move, and then I'd turn clockwise and see how much you turn the motor over before that distributor starts moving.
Yes.
That's now going to tell me the condition of my timing chain It is also going to tell me if the gears on my distributor are wore out. Notorious on these old vehicles. You start seeing it. Very simple test. That's what I would do inside my shop. Jeff, you want to weigh in on another test there?
Not necessarily another test. I mean, just, weak valve springs alone can actually cause the same thing. You get too much carbon buildup on those valves that have been in there forever and a day. Just running some transmission fluid down that carburetor or running some BG44K too, because that carbon will build up to the point where it'll actually combust the fuel before it hits.
I hope that helps, Andy. Okay, Thomas wants to talk about something. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, my father lives in Johnstown.
Yes.
And I know you've talked about the travelers on your program.
Well, I call them
before.
gypsies, so if anybody's offended, they can just email me, because, you know what, I have up to here with political correctness. I call them gypsies, and I don't know of any ethnic group called gypsies that were ever offended by it. But if you are a gypsy and you are offended, I would like you to call me and state your case. But go ahead. What about these gypsies?
So anyway, they showed up at the beginning of this week and did his neighbor's driveway with watered down concrete and probably a mop or something.
Yeah.
And then they came over to his house, knocked on the door. Hey, we've got leftover stuff. Do you want us to do yours? So my dad's 84 years old, and he didn't walk over and look at his neighbors, but he saw that, hey, it looks like brand new concrete. So sure. So he had him do it. He had to go to the bank, draw out $1,200, and it looks like crap.
No. So did he pay him already?
And I called the guy and I actually talked to him. I said, hey, I want you to come do my place. And he told me to email or to text him an address. But I don't know. We might be able to text him an address someplace in Denver.
And sting him.
Littleton.
And sting him.
What is Johnstown?
It's an intersection.
No, it's actually a town anymore.
Oh, it is?
Oh, no. Northern Colorado, just off I-25.
Why do you associate gypsies with
that's not Johnson Corner, though.
It isn't?
No.
Well, it's in the Johnson's Corner area.
Yeah, but I mean, I call it an intersection, but it is actually a place off of isn't it west of there?
Yeah, they've probably got 10,000 people in Johnstown.
Why do you associate it with gypsies, rip-offs? I mean...
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
no, I associate it with the intersection up there.
It's just
Johnson's
small little
Corner.
deal.
Okay.
It's kind of like Fort Lupton.
Well, Rolling's going to get mad. Fort Lupton, I always used to make fun of Fort Lupton.
Yeah, they had people with one tooth, right?
No, what I said was I said I visited Fort Lupton the other day. Nice tooth. Anyway, so listen, Thomas, this guy, is it definitely a bad job? I mean, is the concrete falling apart right now?
Well, it's not even concrete. What they did was they used something. They might have used concrete patch. They dug out the cracks. And
tell me what's happening to it right now.
Well, it just looks like crap. It's just.
Is he pissed? How much did he pay?
$1,200.
Oh no! See, and they insist on cash, so you can't stop payment.
Exactly.
I wonder what we can do. See, what good is it if we do sting the guy? He doesn't care. He's just a bum, right? I mean, it's not like we can roll him for $1,200. We can't beat him up.
I have people that I know.
Yeah, but really, I mean, give us the information, okay? Give us the information. Let's see what we can do. We might come up with an idea. He's going to give us the phone number to this gypsy, for lack of a better term. 303-713-TALK. What would gypsy music be?
Something by the Beatles.
Something like
Stevie Nicks.
In between a polka and a Jewish song.
I have no idea what gypsy music.
Carnival music.
Yeah, not. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. People, if you really know of scams and ripoffs, let us know. But I got to tell you something. You kind of are your own worst enemy. When people roll up on the street and say, we're working down the street, we're doing this, we're doing that, don't hire people based on being solicited. Now, I'm not telling you everyone who solicits is a crook, but what I am telling you is 90% of all problems start when you are solicited. So there's probably a 90% chance you will be ripped off if someone solicits you. So you may find someone good, but how often will you find someone good through solicitation? Not often. It sucks. And this is where I love talking about people like Genesis Total Exteriors and Home Improvements. I've been after Mark to change his name. He's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. It doesn't say anything about his kitchens and baths and basements and additions and large and small. Listen, this guy is so busy. It's worth waiting for him, though, because he'll do your design build from beginning to end. And this is someone you can trust. Isn't that what you want? Genesis Total Exteriors and Home Improvements. That's siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, and all your home improvements. 303-679-8509.
You know, so many people call me when they're injured and they say, Tom, who should I call? And I say, John Fuller at Fuller Law. John Fuller has seen all kinds of cases on personal injury, and he can give you an honest assessment of that case. Personal injury is nothing to fool around about. The other side will always try to minimize your claim. The other side will always try to make you feel greedy or not entitled. You need someone who will fight for you. If it's someone else's fault, you should be paid. I mean, after all, if you broke someone's window at a house or you ruined their car, they expect you to pay for it. It's not something you can ever do on your own. So if you have a serious case, John Fuller will tell you and fight for you. 303-597-4500. Here's the deal. Don't let someone get away with it if they've injured you and you have all kinds of losses. You can't work. You have problems as a result. His website, johnrfuller.com. johnrfuller.com. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Look for John Fuller on my referral list at referralist.com.
Did you know slow internet can actually hold your business back? Say goodbye to slow downloads, slow backups, slow everything. Comcast Business offers...
Okay.
You think it lacks something?
Yeah, it's just like a little flare. As far as content, it's beautiful. Did you look at one of the listings? Look at one of them.
Pardon me? I just got a tip from a caller. He knows those dealerships that Honest Accurate looked at that car. He said the new dealership took all the employees and everything.
I know he did, but he didn't buy any stock or
Maroney knows what he's doing. Maroney would never come in and take over the obligation.
Nor would 99%.
I thought if they just bought the assets, they didn't have to take on the obligations, but if they got everything...
No. They would have to literally buy the corporation.
All they bought was Blue Sky.
Oh, okay. And then
I could buy everything, but not the corporation.
We hardly ever get this. Ayla was at fault in an accident, had no insurance. Now an insurance company is suing her for about $35,000, trying to sue her dad.
You know why? Because the other people had full coverage. Their insurance ended up paying it. Now they're subrogation.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
It was Kool-Aid and Flavor-Aid.
No,
who's in here?
Oh man! Lunch.
Lunch and Flavor-Aid. It was a combination of
We heard we were having pizza.
We showed up right before. And he says it after he knew someone else bought.
That guy is smart.
God love it. Hey guys, today I got an important meeting. I have to leave early today. I know I showed up late, but I got a
Look
golf.
at this guy.
I got a golf tournament at Arrowhead.
Then roll your move over.
Ooh, Arrowhead. Love Arrowhead.
Oh my God! Really?
I gotta go play Arrowhead in the rain.
Man, I know somebody's got to do it. The true golfer. True golfer.
And I am standing up.
I got to pick up my heli.
He's going to be holding a metal club in the middle of a store.
Just like Caddyshack.
Like
the priest of Caddyshack.
He goes, the best game I've ever played!
And then he misses the top.
Didn't it go in, though, at the edge?
No, he missed the putt, and that's what he swore.
Yes.
And then that's when the lightning struck him.
The lightning struck him. Still the best cat.
Don't you think it needs a little something?
That was a good show, wasn't it?
Caddyshack was the classic. Rodney Dangerfield. That was his best
Rodney
moment.
Dangerfield, Ted Knight, and
Ted Knight is great.
He rips a big one and goes,
Here,
someone step on a duck.
Who was
If Roy speaks, could you just
Oh, yeah.
mic over for him? Thank you so much.
The swing, the caddies day in the pool, where they float the, what kind of caddy?
Baby Ruth.
A Baby Ruth.
He goes in after.
That's Bill Murray.
Bill Murray is so good in that.
Caddyshack. Murray and Chevy Chase.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely hated each other making that movie.
Really?
In fact, most of their scenes, the ones that were together, of course, have to be filmed that way, but other than that, they kept them apart.
Really?
It was an interview with Chevy Chase about Bill Murray on Stern.
Wow.
Really?
So it was him. They hated
Except
each
Bill
other.
Murray became an actor, a real actor.
You don't like Chase? Oh my God, Vacation.
No, as far as an actor goes, Bill Murray's way more accomplished.
Oh yeah, he can do any role.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day.
Stripes.
Oh,
No,
straight.
but he won. No, but what about that one? He had some really awkward.
No, where he was the neighbor. That was a really good
neighbor one. That guy that was like this crotchety old man.
And he took over the kid. That was a great movie.
How was that a great movie?
Oh, it was great. It was there wasn't, well,
the acting.
It's a comedy drama.
Shit, it was hardly a comedy. Good acting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was
a black comedy.
Yeah.
Just about.
No, but he's done a few of those. Like, they're good.
I think you would watch a
Groundhog
movie
Days.
like that.
Oh, I love that.
It's saying something for something.
The ending is unbelievable.
Denver's talk station.
Stephanie is the one that watched that or told me to watch it.
Hi, Tom Martino. Okay, joining the fray right here with Al Aramis from Pro Auto and Jeff Vick from Kimmer and Ryan from Ding Magic is Rolly Purifoy, Purifoy Chevrolet, king of the Corvettes. And,
but he never drives? How do you sell more Corvettes than most people ever imagine? But you don't drive one, Rolly.
He does.
It drives me nuts.
He drives.
No, he drives around like in an old pickup. He's like that Buffett guy or somebody.
Just a mystery.
Your pickup truck has now how many miles on it? Your shop truck.
Well, I don't know about our current shop truck.
No, the one.
I mean,
what's the one you had that had what is?
That was our parts truck. That was 572,264 miles.
Jeez. And it ran well, didn't it?
Yeah, we never opened the motor on it. Never opened the tranny.
Now,
is that cool?
Why wouldn't you pick up parts in a Corvette?
But for me, I've always got a project, and I'm always hauling something. So a vet, yeah, I drive a vet once in a while. But
did you ever like have one that you drove every day? Ever?
Not every day. No,
I didn't think so.
No.
You're too cool for
back
school.
in the day. When I was important, he used to give me a one to demo in the summer.
Wow, that must have been a day.
It was
unbelievable.
It was pretty scary.
It was fun. All right. So I want to talk to Ayla, is it?
It is Ayla.
Ayla has a terrible problem, and I want to bring up an attorney to listen, and I'll explain why in a second, why I'm asking Mike to listen, and then I'll tell you why. So Mike, just listen to this. Go ahead, Ayla.
Okay. So I got in an accident in 2014.
What kind of an accident?
I was going through a stop sign, and then it was raining, and I.
It was a car accident. A car accident.
Yes, a car accident.
Okay,
yes.
And you were at fault?
Yes, sir.
When did it happen? How many years ago, dear?
2014 in May 20th.
Okay, then what happened?
And so my parents had insurance on me, and I was unaware that they had been fighting over who was going to have me on insurance, so I guess I didn't have insurance for like a week when I got in the accident.
So your insurance was lapsed at the time of the accident?
Yes, sir.
So what happened then?
And so then I paid restitution on it and everything.
How much? How much restitution?
I want to say $2,200.
What was that for?
I think that was for like the injuries and stuff, the restitution, like I had to reimburse them for.
Do you know what it was for? Did they say it was for injuries? Did they say it was for the car? Who paid for the car?
Who paid for the car?
Yeah. In other words, I'm sure this accident had more than $2,400 in losses, don't you think?
Yes.
So who do you think did her insurance or his insurance? You had an accident with someone else, a he or she?
It was I don't remember. From what I was out of it when I got hit, and they said that it was a girl and a guy in the truck that hit me.
That hit you, or you hit them?
So, no, they hit me because when I was going through a stop sign, it was a two-way stop sign, and it was raining, and so I thought they were a lot further back than what they were.
All right, so you got hit, and it's your fault. You got a ticket. You had to pay restitution, and you had to go through the SR-22 and all of that, right? Because you didn't have insurance. You had to prove insurance and get insurance and carry a certificate, right?
Yes, and then I was on a red license for over a year.
Okay, so what's happening now? That was in 2014.
Well, so I don't know if they've been trying to get a hold of my dad. I haven't talked to my dad in over a year. He was the one who signed like guardianship and liability or whatever for me.
How old were you at the time of this accident?
16, and I'm 20 now.
Okay, well, your dad wouldn't be liable for that.
Wait a minute. If she didn't have, how can she even purchase insurance at 16? I'm totally lost here. So her parents didn't have insurance.
Exactly. My parents did not have insurance on me, and I was unaware that I was driving without
But Mark,
it. They did not tell me.
You can purchase insurance at 16.
But if she's under 16, how could they come after her now if that's where she's going?
Well, first of all, she was a minor. I don't think they can come after her because she was a minor at the time. And you can't hold a minor responsible, and her dad's not responsible either, I'm sure. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I'm almost sure, because why would he be? She was 16, above the age of reason. So where are we going with this, Ayla? What happened?
So I got summoned 2 weeks ago for like $34,000 from the American Family Mutual, from their insurance.
How much do they want from you?
$34,000.
Okay, now that's called subrogation, which is entirely proper. However, there's two issues here. Two. One, you were 16 at the time. And two, could your parents be liable? I don't think so. Now, Mike Wink is here because I brought Mike for another reason, and I'm sure he can read the writing on the wall because he does bankruptcy. And Mike, how many times have you had to do a bankruptcy for a young person so they don't ruin the rest of their lives? I mean, this is minor compared to some you've done. I'm sure that you encounter people where a judgment would wipe them out for the next 50 years of their lives, right?
That's right. That's right.
And are they dischargeable?
Absolutely. So the exceptions to discharge that are relevant here is if there was drugs or alcohol involved, so if she was drunk.
If it was egregious, or in other words, against the law, right?
Right, but even then, that's only for personal injury, not for property. So the exception to discharge is for death or personal injury caused where you were intoxicated.
You know, she said she had a red license.
So if you were intoxicated, or if you were on drugs, you could not discharge it, you're saying?
The personal injury piece, even the property piece, you could discharge,
but not the personal injury.
Not the personal injury.
But Mike, if she was a minor, how does that work?
Yeah, I can't see where they can hold her responsible. Can you?
I don't think you're responsible for your 16-year-old accident unless you were negligent in entrusting them with the vehicle.
No, I'm not talking about the dad now. I'm talking about the 16-year-old. How can they go back and hold her responsible for a debt that she incurred at 16?
Well, because she wasn't insured, and if she was at fault, she's liable.
But she's 16. Oh, you're saying it's not a business transaction.
Yeah, it's just
right.
Yeah.
I understand. So, he's saying it's not like she entered into a contract and can say I was only 16. I'm not liable. He's saying it's just like if she committed a crime, she'd be liable. It's not. She doesn't get away with it. You're saying that with personal liability, you don't get away with that just because you're 16.
That's right. But it should be discharged in bankruptcy. There was no drugs or alcohol involved. Is that what you're saying?
I got to ask her, Ayla.
Yes, sir. There was no drugs or alcohol involved.
Okay. Yeah, and then the only other issue would be like willful and malicious, which would be running someone down
or stealing a car Yeah,
but driving without insurance is not considered willful and malicious infliction of
Ayla, listen, there's probably very little chance you're going to get out of a $34,000 judgment. And you may just want to do a bankruptcy.
And it might even be more than that.
Yeah, I'd kind of been talking to a couple of people, and they said something about the bankruptcy. Can you guys tell me where I need to go from here?
Yeah, Mike Wink is on the air. He does a bankruptcy. I've known him for years and years and years. He's on my referral list. You don't have to hire him, but I encourage you to call him and talk to him. He won't charge you to talk.
Okay.
I'm just curious, do you have any assets? Do you own a house, or do you have any real assets?
Like, do you have anything you can lose in a bankruptcy?
Not really. I mean, my car, but it's already paid off. I'm not making
How much is your car worth?
Shoot, probably $3,500.
Yeah, that's not going to be an issue, right, Mike?
That's right.
What else?
$7,500.
What else do you have?
Nothing. I mean, I just got out of my lease for my apartment.
Ayla,
I don't have a house or anything.
I'm not happy or jumping for joy that you have to do a bankruptcy, but let's analyze this. You're a young person, by my calculations, just turning 18 or 19, right?
Yeah, I'm turning 20 actually today.
Oh, okay. Not 2014. Okay, so you were 16 at the time of the accident, so you're turning 20. This would hold you in hostage for years and years and years to come. And I suggest you get it over with now, and by the time you're 24, you could have your credit built up again and be able to get loans, right, Mike?
That's right. Absolutely.
You should probably get a credit card in a year.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, Mike, here's Wink and Wink's number, okay? It's 303-410-1720.
410-1720.
Yeah, that's Mike Wink. Just talk to him.
I agree with you so much on this, and you know there's people out there going, well, she should have had, well, you know,
yeah, but that doesn't mean
can't
this
ruin
girl,
the rest of her life.
You don't ruin the girl's rest of her life. This insurance company, but remember, she's not robbing from that person. The insurance company paid. That insurance company made money, trust me, time and time again over the years. Made a lot of money. I'm not going to cry for them. Brian Burns is with Compass Insurance Group, and I'd like to ask him a quick question. Brian.
Yeah.
How aggressively will they go after this 34,000?
Yeah, and I just heard the tail end of the conversation.
It's a subrogation claim. She didn't have insurance. Okay. How aggressively will they go after her?
Well, she does, and I heard you guys talking about the fact that she doesn't have assets. I can't imagine them going aggressively. I mean, if they know they're not going to get anything.
Oh, you don't think they will, just to get a judgment, just in case she wins the lottery?
I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe. They might do that. I just am saying if they start pressing and see.
Well, they already served her. I mean, she's got a court date, she said.
No. Is that right?
She's already going?
Wait. I thought they just notified her. Did they actually serve you, Ayla?
Well, I don't have a court date.
Oh, I don't know why I thought that.
No, they just asked. They just wrote to her saying you owe us money.
Well,
you know, Ayla. Go ahead.
Sorry, today's like the 21 days. It says I have to like put a response.
Oh dear, no. That is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
That is a lawsuit. So Ayla, listen.
What?
If you don't answer the lawsuit, you will get a default judgment against you. So here's what you need to do. Well, not if you don't answer. Not if you don't show up. But here's what you need to do. You need to make a response to the lawsuit. And I'm not going to give you legal advice, but here's what I would do if it was me. If it was me and I had no money or nothing, I would respond very simply, saying that I have no money and I have no assets and I have no defense. And you know, I await my court date. I don't know. I mean, what else can you do?
Is that something Mike Wink and Wink could help her with?
Mike, on a response, what would you do in a case like this where you have no money, you have nothing? Would you just let the default judgment happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better for her credit if it doesn't. So she's gonna. I think she needs to file bankruptcy. Honestly, I mean, you know, that sounds self-serving, but the reality is. The judgment's going to enter.
But does she file before? Does she file right now before they do it?
Yes, if she can, and if not, I would file an answer, you know, disputing it. But that's just to buy time. You're not going to, you know, I don't think you're going to win that litigation, and any cost of litigating is, you know, is a waste because.
Yeah.
You know.
So really, you just have to use your common sense here. You got to use your common sense. And Brian Burns, any advice at all or not? Just you're saying they may not even go after her, but it looks like they are.
They already did.
Yeah.
So that one's too late. So
okay.
They are going after her, so she needs to do the. I would exactly what he said. I would do the response at least to buy some time.
Yeah, just do a response, Ayla. It's not that important because ultimately you're going to lose and you're going to file a bankruptcy. And that's what it boils down to, really. I mean, that's what happens. We have more coming right up.
What she did when she was 16 is going to affect her credit report when she's 20.
Solid delays on the north end of that crash on I-25.
You're going to play any buddies? Is that what you're going to do?
You're going to play with balls? Right down the fucking road.
Pence is right down the road, man. He's down at Focus for the Family. Or Focus on the Family.
Where's that at?
Like almost right across from Air Force Academy, kind of right around there. At least they used to be. Is Briargate further down?
Yeah.
Oh, you're out?
I'm going to go play.
All right, man.
Did you go get wet? I know, they bought me. No, Jeff did.
Oh, okay.
Eat my slice. Thank you, brother. I'm counting on you. Counting on you. Really, I'm really sorry. You be careful. But I gotta go do a man's duty out on the golf course.
He's crazy. He's going to end up dead.
Oh, yeah, perfectly fine. I'm gonna hit him long. I'm gonna hit him long, hard, and straight.
Get a big umbrella, too, with a big metal pole.
I was gonna say, grab some insurance. Lightning gives the real high stuff, so I'll make the new.
Well, then why do they call it ground?
Why do you have to go there?
You're going to be on the beach all day.
I guess that would be a short ground.
He's just going ground.
That was good. Oh, man. That was good, Jeff. He will tell you what he needs. Short cigarette. Stolen ground. That's good.
Just give me something around the dinner table and I just start chuckling for no reason.
What do you think of it? Oh, I like it. I said before. I think
you need something.
I'm going to switch.
So all those change at the same time, huh?
Hey guys, yeah, but I mean, I can change that.
No, that's fine. No, I think.
No, but I'm saying it looks a little. I just want a little pizzazz, I think.
I'm talking about cutting back your mortgage term or lowering your interest rate.
You need that green.
Many homeowners, my friends at American Financing,
just the green guy.
To own their home free and clear in 15 years.
There you go.
That's right. Financing here, 15 years fixed rate mortgage.
I do think.
Eliminate mortgage insurance, consolidate high interest debt.
That's a whole long week.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
First week back from vacation.
Yes, tens of thousands of dollars in overall.
It's almost never as long as the week before vacation.
That's true. We're going to Mexico here soon, and I'm really looking forward to that. No driving. I was going to rent it. This will be the first time I haven't rented a car in Mexico in the last 10 trips. I like driving out to the pyramids and climbing on those and going through their jungles and stuff. I love that stuff.
Most
people don't do that stuff. I love it. That's one of my favorite parts.
He's going to the beach here.
Yeah, it's Cancun. I love the all-inclusives. You just show up. Kids got a million things to do, man. It's like 12 restaurants. Everything's just done.
Tesco Strength Equipment literally carries a lifetime warranty on all parts. Denver on 50th Avenue I-25 or Highlands Ranch at University and C470. FitnessGallery.com. Fitness Gallery, getting Colorado in shape since 1997.
When small businesses need to grow their...
You doing anything this summer, Rolly?
...proven to deliver. Indeed.com. According to an independent study, Indeed delivers 5 times more hires.
Well, there's...
More hires than the rest of the And right now we're giving users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job. Posting your listing.
Where are you going for
results? Claim your $50
Cali or
Indeed.com/credit.
Florida.
Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
I can't say right now because there's a
reason.
Okay. I have people watching.
You get a big sales sword. That's why I use New Original Super Strength.
Because it's a surprise.
It works fast.
Oh, I got you.
Deep to soothe my tired muscles.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered everything.
And I'll tell you one thing. I had no idea that it was so darn handy.
So, you just put it all together.
Available in all major
but after the surprise, then
works fast for long-lasting soothing of tired muscles and joints.
You won't stay.
Michael Brown.
I hear Detroit's very nice. Really cheap, too.
I was thinking more like Akron, Ohio.
Oh, Akron. Wonderful.
I'll go Illinois.
Home of the closed down Goodyear tire plant.
It's amazing.
Akron's totally crap.
Coeur d'Alene?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life? Listen, I hope you never need Joe Lazzara, but so many idiots right now, so many are getting popped for drinking and driving, but mostly smoking. Marijuana is the new problem on the streets. And there is no legal, well, there is a legal limit, but it's so weird to test for it that they can do it according to their own judgment. So it's just whatever the officer thinks. Now, I'm not promoting smoking and driving or drinking and driving, but if you need help, Joseph A. Lazzara, he's been through it. He can help you. And now I mean help through the system. I don't mean help getting away with anything. Always try to get a designated driver or use Uber or use Lyft, use a taxi, whatever. Anyway, LazzaraLegal.com. He's been on my referral list for many years. You can really, really depend on him when you get in trouble. 303-429-6200. 429-6200. You know, a lot of people, they do the edibles, and then they think they're fine. And, no, they're not. And marijuana today is nothing like it used to be. Nothing. It's so potent and so powerful.
You know, I just want to touch on that real quick. I was reading an article where the court system, if you have a good attorney like Lazzara, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, and I think it's bad in this case, but a guy like Lazzara, if they actually bring these to trial, the attorneys are winning a lot on these marijuana DUIs.
Right, because it's hard to say just how impaired you were.
It's next to impossible.
But anyway, 303-713-8255. I am not I can't stand it. I just can't stand marijuana. I can't stand the smell. Can't stand anything about it. And this is not a commentary on marijuana, but one time, it was a long time ago, somebody gave me a brownie. They had a brownie, and I ate a part of a brownie. It's in Florida, I believe it was, years ago.
Last week?
No. Listen to this. All of a sudden, I'm driving around, and I forget where I am. I forget how to get home. And I was in some back streets. I was on an assignment. It was at the end of the day, and I'm driving around, and it wasn't like I was even high. I was just like stupid. I just like, things all looked the same to me, all the streets and everything. And I think, I don't know, a lot of people say they're creative when they do marijuana. They get creative. I don't get creative. Do you get creative? I mean, or don't you do it? You don't have to admit anything. I don't do it. But you remember I invited the pothead, any pothead who thought that they could function on a higher level than me. Because I said it dulls your brain. If you're a long-time smoker, I invite you to come into the studio and we'll have contests. And I said, and I meant 20 to 30-year-old. And I said, and I was 60 maybe at the time, maybe 61. Do you remember that? So this young kid comes in, and he was a stoner. He said, man, I can beat you at anything, you know. Well, naturally, one of the first things I do is thumb wrestling.
Do you want to play a little slap hands?
And we did that. Rolly's talking about the time he did mine. Anyway, we did slap hands, and we did other reaction games. And this kid, he like 21, young, virile, and he wasn't even stoned at the time, I don't think, but he was bragging about how much he smokes. His brain was fried. I mean, I know people say, oh, it doesn't do anything to your brain. This guy, if you ever meet somebody who regularly smokes a lot, or
I'm going to throw a name out there, and he's one of the most impressive movie writers out there, Seth Rogen. This guy is high. He smokes it like cigarettes, man. But like, he smokes so much you never know if he's high or not when you hear him talk. But he makes a fortune. He keeps it...
what movies does he write the movie?
He does it all, man.
Like what? What did he write?
The biggest screenplay, the #1 he did, I can't think of his first movie.
No, he didn't do the one with Korea.
Go ahead, Kevin. What is it?
I think he did Pineapple Express.
Yep, Pineapple Express is one.
We have a lot to talk about. I promise you I will get to all of your calls. Get more calls in, 303-713-TALK. We have a lot to do, so you stick around on the Troubleshooter Show. It is car day, but we'll take all calls are welcome. 303-713-TALK, or you can email us live at troubleshooter.com, live on Facebook and YouTube.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app.
Sorry, Tom, I got you off the end. Sorry. Hey, the pizza's here. Could one of you guys go handle the phone, Mark or Dan? Could one of you guys go just command the phone?
You want me to help you? Oh, okay.
80.
Oh, I can't. I only have 3 minutes.
Hey, watch this here.
As an actor,
grab the phone.
He's been in so much it would blow you away.
So how do you know he smokes all the time, Mark?
He's on Stern all the time. 24/7 he's on.
Do you think Stern smokes?
No. Are you kidding? He's paranoid, yes.
Isn't he a health nut?
Oh, fuck yeah, big time health nut.
It's not my kind of
He's
party.
your-
When you sit
he's
there
your
and you
age.
blank off into space.
I don't
Sit there
like
waiting
it.
for cat
You like
stealing
it?
your
No,
ideas.
it makes me paranoid.
It's not even
Hey, you
that.
sit there worried about whether or not your
I
cat's
don't
gonna
like.
steal your ideas.
Well, I don't like being drunk either. I hate that feeling. I don't like being high. I mean,
The Pact, Brooklyn Castle, Game Over, Flarsky, The Something, The Disaster, Preacher, which is a TV, Neighbors, Neighbors 2, Sausage Party, The Night Before, The Interview, Neighbors, This Is the End, The Guilt Trip, 50-50, The Green Hornet, Funny People, Pineapple Express, Superbad, Knocked Up, the 40-year-old version. Every one of those he was the producer. director, the Christian show, preacher, Banana Town, Future Man, The Interview, This Is the End, Singularity.
What about, what did he write?
The biggest one, how he got started when he was 17. He's not a Hollywood guy. Him and his buddy, he was class clown. Him and his buddy wrote the Superbad, which is a hilarious movie. And they sold that script. He sold that first script, then acted in Superbad when he was 23 years old. Wrote it in high school, sold it at 23, and off to the races. And the other thing that one, how about musicians and artists? Some of them say they can only like write their music and shit when they're high. Do you believe that, or do you think they kind of?
No, I believe they talk themselves.
That's what I was going to say. The only reason that's true is because they believe it.
Bombs that could be detonated if the U.S. was in it, escalating disputes.
I dropped acid once when I was 17 and picked up my guitar. Shit, I thought I was Jimi Hendrix, man. I recorded it and I listened to it the next day. Shit, I was not Jimi Hendrix.
LSD scared the shit out of me.
Oh, it's mind-altering.
I thought I was going to die.
When I did it, we actually got it in Philly at a Dead concert, and it was liquid. And we took it. None of us have ever had it before. You know, we smoke pot and stuff, but
oh my God,
20 minutes goes by. We're looking for this guy because we want our money back. And then,
so scary.
I had a slip on me.
Literally, someone Mickey'd you with acid?
No, guys.
I don't think it was intended for me.
Did you ever do acid, Rolly?
No.
Never?
Rolly, it is the scariest experience I ever had.
Well, the closest thing to that, we did some mushrooms down Lake Town one time.
That's pretty close.
That's like acid, just probably a lot calmer, I would
When
guess.
I was younger, it was slipped on me. We were in a crowd drinking soft drinks, and we were passing around Orange Crush, and they didn't tell me I had acid in it, so I didn't know. I go home, and I'm home. I was living alone at the time, and I start getting
It's weird.
feeling so weird.
Half hour.
And now remember, I didn't know why, because I wasn't even smoking pot at the time, so I'm thinking, this is what I thought. Holy shit.
Is it just me, or are people slipping him a lot of stuff?
No.
The brownies and
No, nobody slipped me a brownie. I told you, I was really bad. I said that, no, this was really slipped to me, and I swear to you, I thought I was going crazy because I didn't know what it was. So
how'd you figure it out?
I started seeing things, and so then I thought I was going to kill myself. I swear to God, I said, I can't live like this, because my mother was in a mental hospital, you know, but she is the Troubleshooter Show. And I thought, I'm going to have to end it. Oh my God. My friend knocks on the door and says, hey man, how's it feel? Is it great? Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life and how can we help you? I've asked that question a million times. Not quite, but we have
done so many shows. I calculated one time, I think I had 378,423 conversations. If you think about it, I talk to people every single day, not just 3 hours a day here, but on and off the air as well. Rolly Purefoy is with me from Purefoy Chevrolet, the original member of the referral list at referralist.com.
Long time.
Do you know who number 2 was?
Jay Bretz.
He was like 3 or 4. But Brian Veal, Equity Relief. He's not even in business anymore. Do you remember that business called EquityRelief.com?
Yeah.
He was a lender. Anyway, so welcome, Rolly. We also have some other guys with us. Now, did Al have to slip out? Al Aramis, the Pro-Editor, he slipped out, I think. He had to go back to the office.
Yeah, he was going to just go out for a short while.
We have Ryan with us, Ryan Smith with Ding Magic on our referral list. We also have Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission. Jeff, what's the next hunting season? That's what you do. That's
My next hunting season?
Yeah.
I'll be going archery for deer and elk.
When?
October.
Okay, because I look forward
September,
to that.
Yeah.
Do you know I benefit from the spoils of his labor?
Hunting we will go.
Well, I don't do the hunting part. I'm a hypocrite. I will never do that. But I'll eat it. All right, let's go. The only rule here, pizza is here. The only rule is that you don't talk with your mouth full. Robert's got a question. By the way, give us a call. We have lines open. 303-713-TALK. It's car day, but you can talk about anything like Robert wants to talk about fence. Go ahead, Robert. What's happening, man?
So, good, I guess it's still good morning, right?
Yeah. No, just now afternoon, 5 minutes or so. What's going on, bro?
So I got a fence. The fence is kind of in bad shape. And so the lady next door, asked me about if I was thinking about replacing it, and I told her I can't right now. I don't have the money. So just a few days ago, she tells me that she wants to tie into my fence to make her side look good. She wants to tie into the poles. It's my fence.
Now, what do you mean tie into the poles? What does that exactly mean?
She wants to make her side look good without tearing mine down. You see what I'm saying?
But how do you do that?
Well, the fence posts and the supposedly the nice side is on my side.
What kind of fence is it?
It's just a wooden picket fence. I mean, just your regular.
Is it like? Well, I don't know what regular. Is it privacy fence? Is it a solid panel with pickets that are close together, or does it have? Okay, so they're solid privacy panels, right?
Yes.
And they're like the 4-inch pickets that are together. They line up in a row and they're all together, right?
Yes.
And it's about 8 foot wide, right?
Somewhere around there. It's about 6 feet tall, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 6 by 8 usually, 6 by 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So she wants to, on the other side, she wants to nail up fence on the other side so the nice side is facing her, right?
Yeah, well, we would both have a nice side, except for mine doesn't look all that good anymore.
Right. Okay, so what's the problem? Usually, I mean, first of all, who owns that fence?
It's my fence, from what I was told.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, I was told by when we bought the house that it was my fence,
well,
and like I said, normally,
it could be.
I'm not sure.
It could
I'm
be,
not sure,
because if it's your fence, it's usually a setback onto your property. If it's her fence, it's set back onto her property.
Yeah.
Hold on though, if it's right on the border, no one owns it, even if you think you do.
Okay, well, I guess I don't know who owns it.
You both own it.
And neither does she.
So what's the issue then? What do you need?
No, I was just wondering if I need to say you have permission to do it, or just let her do it. Or
here's the deal. What harm is it?
Yeah, there's no harm. Like I said, I don't know whether the fence is on my side or on her side or it's in between.
Well, if you had a survey, you might get surprised.
Yeah.
And what difference does it make?
Well, okay, so if it comes up that later on, for whatever reason, it does get surveyed, and then it's my fence, and then she says, hey, well, I rebuilt the fence, so it's my fence. So I guess it doesn't make a difference, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like somebody's got to take the fence with them if they leave.
And it's not like you're agreeing to pay for it.
Okay, yeah, because I was actually going to help her out, because I thought she was tearing down the fence.
No. You listen, there's no issue here, really. And a lot of times, you can actually compel your neighbor to chip in for half of it. You can if they press it in some communities. Orion?
Yes.
What is that your name? Orion or Orion?
Orion.
Orion. What kind of name is Orion?
The one my mom gave me.
I know. What is it? A family name?
No.
What does it mean?
She had 8 kids, and I'm like the third from the bottom, so she
ran out of names, bro. Okay, so you have a fence question too, right?
You never heard of Orion the Hunter, though?
No.
Constellation.
Oh yes, but I thought that was Orion.
Well,
he's joking.
Anyway, what's going on with your fence?
We moved into this home. We had it built in 2005, and my realtor asked the guy behind me, did he want to share in the cost of a fence, because both of us homes were being built pretty much the same time. We were ahead of him.
Yeah.
He said no. Now, I didn't have a problem with that, because I was going to put up a fence. It was part of my budget.
Gotcha.
Because I had 2 grandkids moving in anyway.
Okay, so then what? What happened?
Well, he recently painted the side that faced him.
Well, you know what? Even though, is it on the property line?
No.
It's probably set back on this guy's
Wait a minute.
line.
Is it set back on your Is it set back on your property?
That is correct.
If it's set back on your property and it's your fence, he had no right to do it.
It's set back on my property.
And it's your fence.
My fence.
Vandalism. He had no right to do it. So now what?
You tell me.
Well, did he harm it?
He violated, and I heard what the other guy said.
What did he violate? What did he violate?
he violated my rights as a person.
Well, he really didn't. He really didn't violate your rights.
It's weird, though, man. How about if he decides to show up and paint his car, even if he does the job right, but a different color or something?
Orion, here's the bottom line. If you don't have a damage, there's nothing you can do about it.
I do have a damage because he violated. You say somebody can violate you and you don't have a damage?
Right, that's right.
He violated.
That's right.
He violated me.
Okay.
He changed the color of his property.
Mark,
there must be somewhere to go here.
Just hold on, okay?
Thank you,
Orion, what color did he make it? Did he make it a weird color?
No, he didn't. He made it a rust color.
Is it the same color or different?
It's different.
Okay.
I never painted it.
Okay. Here's what I want to tell you.
Okay.
Technically, he was not authorized to do it, and it was your property, and he defaced your property.
He did.
Okay. But I do not believe you will ever collect the damage on it.
You know what he could do?
I do not believe it.
He could go repaint it, long as it's on your property, and make it a nice shade of pink.
If I went on your property and polished your car, you could do nothing about it.
Yeah, but they're saying they changed the color.
Yes, I could.
Well,
come on, Tom. I listen to you guys.
You
all
can't.
the time.
Orion, I'm just telling you, bro. They did not do a damage. Unless they did. I mean, I'm saying they didn't. I mean, if it's a lousy...
If somebody violate you, you didn't do any damage?
Right. Unless there's damage. If it's a bad job, or if it was, let's say, such a weird color that it was so... Yeah, there could be a loss, but I don't think you have one. Well, first of all...
I'm talking about a loss.
How much...
I'm talking about a loss.
Then why would... Okay. If you're not talking about a loss, what do you want?
If that guy had came over and asked me,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I
agree with you.
Would not have any
Orion, all I'm asking is this: what do you want? That's a very reasonable question. What do you want?
I agree. That's a reasonable question.
To make it correct, what would you want? Do you want him to put it back the way it was? What do you want?
I want him to respect my rights.
Do you want him to apologize?
I want him to respect my rights as an owner.
Why are you guys feuding before this?
This is where we're going. What would you ask for? I'm asking Orion.
Yeah, but what was the feud? There's something that didn't just happen.
Hold on. What do you want? If you can't answer the question, I can't help you.
I want him... Okay, let's talk about this then. I want him to apologize.
Okay.
All right. And then ask me for permission. The guy next to me, I live on a corner lot.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a little weird, but because he's probably won't, it's going to be a big conflict.
He needs to respect me.
Now, if he says,
he needs to respect me as a neighbor.
Listen, I understand that part of it. I want to ask you this seriously. Let's say you ask him, say, look, I expect an apology, and I would like you to formally ask permission.
I'd ask for half the price.
What if he says, hold on. What if he says no?
Half the cost of the fence.
That's what I'd ask for. That guy has the use of the fence. He's acting like it's his own fence. He owes him half that fence.
Now, I would go on the premise, here's what you could do. You could charge him for half of the fence, sue for that in small claims court. That's a good strategy.
It cost me $15,000 to put up too, by the way.
Okay, it cost him $15,000. So you can sue for $7,500 in small claims court.
Well, that's 1/3 of the. So I would probably get $2,000 or something.
Okay, whatever it is.
There's three sides to the fence.
Okay, whatever it is, here's what you need to do, though. When you do sue, you need to say to the judge, this is the reason. You can't claim a damage because there's no damage. That'll go off in left field in a bunny hole. He won't grant it. Here's how you say. You say, Your Honor, he's proven that he is owning the fence and taking ownership because he painted it. Don't get into damages about a paint job because a judge will say, get out. You have to address it the way Mark said. You want half of that, or whatever it is, 1/3 of the fence because he claimed ownership when he took it upon himself to paint it. That I can agree with. I don't agree there's a damage, but I do agree that you could try to collect 1/3 of it. I would love to hear what a judge says. I would love it because he'll say, I don't own it. And then Orion, if he says I don't own it, then you say, then why did you paint it, right? I mean, you got him in a corner there.
Tom,
so you don't even have to... What's that?
Don't cut me off. If somebody violates you, you're not saying they did you wrong? He violated my right.
No,
he said there's no damages.
He did do you wrong. There's no collectible damage.
If somebody violates you, there's no damage?
Right. Well, no, that's not true. There could be.
You could call the police and say, hey, he trespassed, but they're probably not going to do anything.
Ryan, there could be damage, but in this case, I don't believe you'd be able to prove or assert damages. So why bother?
Well, why is he over there smoking a cigar, smiling, and I'm over here hot?
But, Ryan,
mental anguish.
You know what? I'm really not going to continue the conversation, so I'm sorry I did cut you off. I'm saying the same thing over. You know, there is no, you ever hear this? No harm, no foul.
No harm, no chickens.
Seems to me that there's bad blood before this happened.
And even if there was...
That's what I was saying. There's something going on there.
Something brewing.
As crazy as it seems...
smoking a cigar.
And I would love to talk to a retired judge or something. As crazy as it seems, he may have the assertion that he claimed ownership and therefore should pay for half, or whatever his share is. That part I can go with. But damages, I cannot go with. Just because you're disrespected doesn't automatically cause a damage. How many times can I say it? By the way, speaking of saying things, let me tell you about Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I can't say enough about him, so I'm just not going to try. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you call Frank, you will find the very best at listing and selling your home, negotiating, staging, all of it. If you want to buy a home, you'll find the same thing. He'll be the best friend you have. Give him a call, and you will prove me right every time. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You know, part of what I do is recommend places to go that I know work, and Ideal Home Loans is one of them. That's because Ideal does not do just one home loan. They have so many programs. In fact, even when you're approved, they go further than that. They could just get you a loan when you're approved, but they go so far as to optimize your credit. It just takes a few minutes, and that gets you even better pricing on the back end. They have a rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of charge. They also have a pre-approval, which is literally like a cash deal. They can close right away because you're already approved. You can call them for anything you need when it comes to loans. They have more programs than any other lender. Direct lenders, they are. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. 867-7000.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm.
Let's start off with the good news on the north end of town. That earlier wreck northbound I-25 approaching Highway 7 looks like it's cleared out of the way. Traffic flow is back up to speed on that stretch. The slowing, well, that's downtown. Northbound I-25 stop and go starting at Alameda, traveling up towards Spear. Southbound slow south of the Mousetrap, heading down towards 6th Avenue. Westbound I-70 a bit slow in the elevated portion. Westbound 270 and eastbound 270 both a little slow on the approach to Vasquez. The weather forecast, partly sunny later on this afternoon. Cool, though. A high of only 65. Right now, overcast skies and 50 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 630 KHOW.
It's Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale, and they're celebrating with daily deals. Get a new and amazing deal every day, like a free pillow, 50% off mattresses, and more. Plus, get 0% APR for 6 years. Only at Mattress Firm.
Hey, Colorado, if you've been dreaming of the day when you can finally afford a BMW, then trust me, your time is now. This month, Shop BMW in Highlands Ranch is offering 0% financing. That's absolutely no interest for up to 60 months on select certified pre-owned BMWs. Plus, you get the remainder of BMW's legendary warranty coverage and the peace of mind that only a BMW certified pre-owned vehicle can provide. Zero interest, zero pressure, and zero dealer handling fees. It's time to visit shopbmw.com today.
Do you think you pay too much to sell a house? Hi, this is John Vizzi with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. If you sell a $400,000 house and the agent charges you 6%, that'll cost you $24,000 for just a few days' work. Colorado Flat Fee Realty has a much better way. On a $400,000 sale, you would save $10,300 with Colorado Flat Fee Realty. Why would you list with anyone else? Call 303-300-9660 or visit ColoradoFlatFeeRealty.com.
Hey, let's keep more safe thousand.
5.8% co-op applies. However you travel this summer, you should know that 1 in 5 travelers have belongings with sensitive information lost or stolen, and 9% experience identity theft while traveling. So whether you're going on vacation or business travel, I want you to take Experian with you. Experian gives you the tools you need to protect yourself on the road. With Experian, you get tools like dark web monitoring, alerts when there's suspicious activity with your cards or accounts, and, of course, you get Experian Lock, where you can lock your credit file to prevent access by thieves. All of those tools, plus up to $1 million in ID theft insurance just with Experian. And while you're traveling, you'll still have access to Experian's U.S.-based fraud resolution agents, working with the same agent wherever you are to resolve all your issues. Having that agent's phone number and email address can be a lifesaver when you're far from home. Protect your ID for 30 days for free by simply going to Experian.com/protect. That's Experian.com/protect.
You can get the news anywhere.
The Senate's new version of health care.
The change you voted for?
Yet again, a tax bill.
But this is the place to talk about the news.
You want Americans to die for a tax cut for the rich?
Don't include it in my health care cost.
630 KHOW.
Paradigm Interiors is the place I recommend for floor coverings every single day because I love the guys that started it 14 years ago. They really do a wonderful job, and I love the staff and the efficiency of what they do. I love the parking, the location, everything. Here's what you got. A big, beautiful showroom on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. As you're driving west, look to the right after Santa Fe, about a quarter of a mile on the right, on the corner of Pecos and Santa Fe. They have a nice, beautiful parking lot, and they have a big, beautiful showroom. This is what I love now. You're met by a design consultant who follows you right through to purchase and helps you make the right decision. Then she'll get you a bid, by the way, based on your house within a day or two. They'll even come out to your house. You never even have to set foot in the store if you don't want to. Then once you get the price, they schedule an installation, and then another employee will take your hand through the entire installation. It's your project supervisor. They've been flooring Denver since 2003. With all of the first quality, beautiful products like hardwood, laminates, vinyl, luxury tile, and carpet, waterproof carpet, anything you can think of in flooring they have. They also have tile and wall tile for showers and back splashes in kitchens. Paradigm Interiors. Please go see them if you're doing any remodeling. 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204. And Paradigm is on my referral list at referralist.com. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You know, just for grins, I'll bring Orion back on because he said I cut him off. But I did not. He said everything he had to say. He has not one new thing to say, and I'll prove it. Here's what he said. His neighbor violated his rights and violated him as a person because he painted the fence that Orion paid for. And Orion had that fence installed, Orion paid for it, and Orion owns it. And that neighbor had no right to paint it. I totally agree. But the neighbor painted it. Orion says, I was damaged by it because he violated my rights. And I said, Orion, I don't believe that is the tack you should take because you probably can't prove a damage because he painted it. Unless he painted it some crazy color or ruined the fence when they were painting it. But normally, you're not going to find a damage. Even though there was an infraction, you're not going to find a damage. The best thing to do is to claim to the judge that he has taken ownership by painting it. He's proven he has taken ownership, and you can therefore sue him for half of it or whatever part of it he has. That's what you do. And if the guy says, no, Your Honor, I don't own it, well, then you can say, well, then why did you paint it? So you have him over a barrel. But I do not think pursuing damages is the way to go. Now, Orion said he did not have a chance to talk. And all he kept saying was, you don't think I was damaged when he violated my rights? You don't think I was disrespected? He kept chanting that over and over. So I'd like to know what Orion did not get to say. Go ahead, sir. What did you not get to say?
First of all, I need to clear up something. All right? One of your guys in the back said there must have been bad blood. There was no bad blood. My statement, I said it in jest about him smoking a cigar and me over here sweating it, calling you guys. There was no bad blood. Secondly, I've heard you guys many a times offer to help a person with filing a suit or doing something like that. I wish you had gave me that same offer to help me file a civil suit against this guy. Thirdly, when a person violates you, there is damage, one way or the other.
You're repeating yourself. The other stuff I let you talk about because it was all new. Keep going.
Okay. You talking about the third thing I said, right?
No, yeah, you've said everything now, I think, right? Because that was new, the part about us not helping you. If you need assistance on how to file a small claim, you're right. We didn't offer that assistance. We can help you. The other thing was right, too. Somebody did say there was bad blood, and you wanted to clarify that. So, Orion, you got to say what you didn't get to say. Now, do you have anything else?
It's your talk show.
No, I mean, do you have anything else?
I've been listening to you guys probably for 20 years.
I hope you still listen, and we can help you file that lawsuit.
I think he's making this argument. You know, let's say, I hate to even put these up there, but someone gets raped or molested or something like that. They were violated. There might not be any permanent damage, but there's let me finish.
Mark,
I don't know where else he's going. There's emotional scars and stuff like that, and he's saying this affected him so much, he wants damage for that. I think it's bullcrap, but that's what I think he's saying.
You're saying he's equating it to emotional damage.
Yes. I don't really want damage for it, but I want you to recognize that anytime you violate it, there's damage.
Well, I don't
emotional damage.
Well, I don't agree.
Yes.
I don't agree.
There's emotional damage. I was robbed once.
No, that is a violation. You're right.
This call's almost damaging me at this point.
Orion, I agree with you. When you're robbed, it's a terrible feeling. You're right. You're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is, when I talked about damage, I was talking about monetary damage in this case. You might have emotional damage, but you're never going to collect on it.
I'm not trying to collect on emotional damage. I'm really, you know...
Shoot me an email, and I'm going to send you the exact docs, how to fill them out.
Yeah, we're going to help you, though, Ryan.
We do have a good way for you to go forward.
Neighbors respect each other.
Well, he doesn't respect you.
No, he doesn't.
So?
Told you to go paint that fence in. If this is that, go do something. Go get him back.
I listen to you guys a lot all the time.
Ryan, this is more of an emotional thing than a money thing with you. Why don't you just go talk to him?
How long you guys been neighbors?
I did go 12 years.
And did you talk to him?
Wow.
We wave at each other. We do that.
Did you tell him you were unhappy?
He didn't answer the doorbell.
I had a bum neighbor like him that wouldn't pay for half of his side of the fence. I know how he feels. But when the guy goes over and paints it, there is an argument to be made. He took ownership.
That's right. That's a good argument.
I understand that, and I'm going to follow that.
It's a better argument than he damaged the fence.
Or his feelings are hurt.
Right, and I'm not looking at that, but I do want to clarify the fact that anytime you violate it, you've been damaged.
Okay. Thank you. I don't believe you've been damaged monetarily.
Hey, his emotional scars run deep.
God, that is like 5 or 10 minutes I'll never get back. Steve, what about you? What's happening?
You know, Tom, he could have damages on that fence.
Oh, God, I don't want to go there. Steve, tell me what damages he's going to have, Steve.
If the neighbor used the wrong product, let's say he used paint instead of a solid body stain.
Yeah.
That paint ain't going to last 6 months. And it's going to be peeling off like wildfire.
And then what'll happen? It'll look bad on the neighbor's side.
Oh, on the neighbor's side.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, do you think truly that argument, do you think a judge is going to award money? I think to redo it he would if it started. I agree with you, by the way. If that starts, that's another thing. If that starts looking like crap in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, I do believe he could sue him for damages at that point. He could say, you know what? This would have never happened if you left it alone. I do agree with that.
It's weird this fence is 2 different colors now, one on each side.
It probably blends. Who knows? Christy, what's going on with you, Christy?
Hey, I've got a question about
Thank you for sitting through all of that.
Sure. It's
right.
mostly entertaining.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, my daughter has about $3,500 worth of credit card debt that's probably about 3 years old since she's paid anything on it.
Yeah.
She got a settlement offer from, I don't know, a debt collection company. How do you know
Wait. Oh, a debt collection company. Is this the collector for that debt?
Yes.
It's one credit card or two or three?
It's one.
And how much is the total, did you say?
The total unpaid is $35.27.
That's what I thought, 35. Okay,
but they're willing to settle it for $706, but I'm just wondering, how do you know when it's legitimate?
That's such a great question, because you know what? There are many bill collectors that do this. They take the money, and they don't even represent the creditor.
Right. So if I called, it's Chase Bank, if I called them, would they be able to tell?
You would have to call someone. You call. Don't take a number from him.
No.
Okay. You call Chase and say, I've been approached by...
Well, it was a letter sent in the mail.
Okay, we've been approached by, and just give them the information and say, is this a true, legitimate settlement offer? Just ask them.
Calling Chase, you mean,
yes.
or calling this company?
No, calling Chase.
Okay.
What's the name of the collection company?
Client Services Incorporated.
Man, that sounds so generic.
It does. It has on the back, it's got different states' information about fair debt collection practices. So
okay,
I don't know.
Here's another thing I think. If, in fact, they are legit, okay, then you can do it. But here's what I have a problem with. When people enter into a settlement agreement, it does not bind the creditor unless the creditor specifically has given authorization.
Right.
I've had people settle with people, and literally the creditor came after them the day after. And there was nothing they could do about it.
I heard you say that.
And it was planned, Christy. It was like a crooked creditor, and they still wanted the full amount. So it's dangerous, but if this is, I'm looking on the web for these people, if this is a legitimate company, Chase will know about them, and they will say, yes, they have authorization. Then, with any kind of settlement, you get everything in writing up front.
And remember, you're negotiating at this point, so there's no reason not to say, hey, I'll do it for $400. I mean, they started it.
Okay,
yeah,
well, we personally have never been in this situation, but...
What is her debt situation all around?
Oh, my God. How much time you got?
No, seriously. How much total debt?
She's got a couple of credit cards. It's not a ton of money. It's just that she maxed them out. She's a student.
How much total?
In credit card debt, probably $10,000.
And how much in other debt? Anything?
In student debt?
I'm not talking about student loans.
Oh, no, that's all.
Now, does she still use credit cards?
No. No, she actually has one card that she has gotten through our credit union that is, you deposit money and you just use it as a credit card.
Okay.
It's helping you to rebuild your credit.
Okay. Well, is she paying off the others or none?
No.
Then, okay.
I'd write it out till they sue her.
That's why I'm saying I know after a certain number of years, is it 6 or 7?
Years.
They just
6 years. 6 years they can't get a judgment after 6.
Just have her write it out until someone tries to sue her. They know she's a student, has no income. How much money are they going to spend going after her?
She really needs to get rid of this, though. She needs to get rid of it. So I wouldn't call, as Mark said, I wouldn't call and initiate negotiations, but she's going to have to deal with it sooner or later. If she starts her professional life, she could have a big problem with a lot of debt, because this will clear up how much debt. It'll only clear up she'll still have about $6,500 in debt, right?
About, yes.
You know what, though? What sucks is she's going to have a problem even getting an apartment.
Oh, yeah, she will.
Well, she moved. She's upstairs as we speak.
How old is she?
30. But 30? She's going back to get her master's.
30?
I thought she was 19, 20.
Listen, is she immature?
Master's. Do you know what rent is in Denver?
Is she immature?
Is she immature?
Yeah.
All of my children are.
What is she?
All children are.
What is she getting her master's in?
Special ed teaching.
Okay. Listen, Christy, just take those steps, and then overall, she just needs to get a handle on finances. And if you say all your kids have problems like that, or immature, irresponsible, guess what? When flowers don't come up right, you don't blame the flower. You blame the pot and the soil and the conditions. Okay, we got to tell you about Denver and stem cell treatment. I say Denver because Stem Cell Institute of America is now in Denver, and they have informational seminars I urge you to go see and to hear and get your questions answered. This is what I like. I like information before I make decisions. Stem Cell Institute knows that. That's why they have these life-changing seminars. You'll find solutions on pain along with cutting-edge information that can change the way you live. So no matter where you live, Denver, Tech Center, Littleton, Boulder, Fort Collins, other areas, they have a seminar near you. If you call this number, just reserve a seat. They don't expect you to make an appointment right away. That's why they do this. There is no downside to this. This is all useful information on stem cell therapy. It's done so much for me. I remember the day we had the conversation with Mark. He says, Tom, you're going to do it. What if it doesn't work? And I says, I don't know. I'll have to say. But it was extraordinary results I've had. And you can too. Back, shoulders, elbows, knees, hips. Give them a call. 855-262-4040. Rolly, have you ever considered that, by the way, for your knees or anything? Or you don't have pain now?
Well, I think it's probably too late for that.
Well, yeah, you had them rebuilt, right?
Yeah.
But you ought to try it if you have any other stuff. I mean, it really is remarkable. 855-262-4040.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Traveling into downtown on I-70 or I-25, give yourself plenty of time and pack the patience. Watch out for slow speeds. Actually, both directions of I-70, very stop and go on the approach to Brighton.
What's that? She shouldn't even pay that credit card off. She's got two other credit cards that are...
You're saying it's not going to matter.
Right. If she's got probable bankruptcy down the road, she just throws $1,400 down the crack. I agree. Or bankrupt and drop it all. But you said, but you're right, it's hard to get out of hard when you're to do that. Unless someone goes on. So for parents go on, she can sit right there.
630K out.
Visible.
Save 30% on paint and stains during the great summer painting hunt, June 18th through July 4th. Your neighborhood retail sales.
You know that Rolly? Yeah, that's about that. Mark, you probably didn't know. Rolly was paralyzed once.
You were?
Yeah.
What happened?
Didn't know if he was ever going to walk again. Now that changes your life.
How did you...
That gives you empathy for people that are...
Oh, I'll bet it does. I'll bet it does.
You went crazy after that, though. You never...
Well, I wasn't going to. I had a thing, it's called Guillain-Barré. It's a nervous system disorder caused by a viral flu. I lost all my muscle tone. Wow. And it just happened over a 2-week period. And then it was...
Can you imagine that?
It was well over 2 years before I was... there was a time I couldn't get out of the chair if I wanted, if my life depended on it. Anytime I had to raise my body weight, I couldn't do it.
How long did you buy get it all?
Well, that's when I was sick. I didn't go to the doctor, and then it was the damage was done. And now they know what it was, but it lasted. Well, I still have effects from it. My left calf doesn't work right. I have a tremor. There's damage in my third lumbar area.
So if you would have went right away, you think they could have just...
Probably. Maybe I just was stubborn. I was real sick.
Did you know it was temporary when it happened? Receive 1 free entry daily and earn more with play. Can you imagine that, not knowing you'll ever be the same?
Oh, I would be in a wheelchair.
No, I managed to drag myself around. I did a lot of crazy
things. I thought you could hardly walk at all.
Well, I couldn't walk. You stood me up, I could, but it was very ugly.
Okay, guys.
Talking about the news that's happening as it's happening. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Something that people don't like thinking about is aging, but it happens. It's not optional. But I'll tell you the good news, the great news, is you can age without giving up. I'm telling you, BioT has proven that to me. BioT is not just hormone replacement, it's hormone optimization. Do you know what that means? That means that you can get natural hormone replacement and optimization just like your body produced when you were younger. And what happens? You get youth and vitality. And I mean youthful feeling. Of course, it doesn't erase years, but it gives you the energy and the vitality, the libido. You start feeling great again. You can burn fat. You can live an energetic life. And it's for women especially. You know, testosterone is a building block. From that, you can also get estrogen. Or they can do estrogen directly. They also work with the thyroid. BioT is a complete health program. They even have some supplements if you need them. You pick a healthcare provider that's been trained by BioT when you go to this website, and you will love the program. It's such a natural delivery system. These tiny pellets inserted right under the skin in fatty tissue, and what it does is dissolves over time, so you only have to do it 2 or 3 times a year. Incredible. Go to biotmedical.com. BioT, B-I-O-T-E, biotmedical.com, then click on the menu item that says Find a Provider. Of course, on that website, there's all kinds of information as well. biotmedical.com. Okay. Do you have a peaceful, easy feeling? Then you don't have to call me. But if you're pissed off at something, I welcome it. Give me a call if you need something, some help with a problem, a question, a complaint, or you have somebody who painted your damn fence, and you are just upset.
I got a problem, Tom.
What is it? Somebody paint your fence? What is it?
I've got too much Corvette inventory.
You do, don't you? Why don't you? Why don't we?
I've got two 16.
Give me a really
I've got two 16 Corvettes. And either one will take at least 10 grand off.
Off of
Brand
the already low price.
16s.
Well, I want to ask you a serious question now. New 16s.
New 16s.
New, not 70s. New 16s.
These are 16s. So I never really have trouble ever getting rid of past model years, but
okay,
they built a lot of cars. And
on the two 16s, do you have any white ones?
One's silver, one's black on the 16s.
Doggone it. And what about...
I've got every color up there that they make.
And so...
I encourage anybody...
Do they all look the same, or do different models?
No, there's differences in... we start looking from a standard Stingray
no,
to
I mean like when I look at it from the side.
You're going to see the same thing on a C7, yes.
Okay, you won't see
C6 is a little bit different. You know, there's an evolution of the car.
I like that new one that looks like the Ferrari. It's just, it's unfreaking believable. Is that the C7?
C7.
Okay. Do most people want the convertible or that hard top Target?
It's about a 50-50 split for us. If we really probably put a pencil to it, we could maybe make that
rather
a little
than saying
lopsided.
10 grand, can you give us a hard number on one of them that would be a screaming deal?
70 grand on a very well-equipped coupe.
70 grand flat.
And 71,855 on a really well-equipped convertible.
So $70,000 would be the 2017.
Yeah, these are 16s, but they're brand new cars.
Okay, but what about
the same thing as a 17?
No, I understand.
And a 17 is going to be in the same ballpark.
Could you get a 2017? I'm not saying the 16s are bad, but could you get a 17 for 70? If somebody has 70 cash, can they drive away in a Corvette?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see if we can sell one during the show. During
and for, nobody's ever come up for somebody that hasn't come up and ever seen what our showroom is like. It's for somebody that's in the Corvette market, it's a mind-blowing deal.
It's fun. How many horsepower is the standard 16-17 Corvette?
460.
That's standard 460. And do other models have more?
You get to Z06 and you get to 650 horse.
Oh my God! And now, what would a Z06 cost?
90s. There's got a sticker of 105.
650 horsepower.
Yeah.
Can you even imagine that? Okay, let's go to the phones. 303-713-TALK. Kenny, what's going on, sir? Kenny, what's happening, sir?
Yeah, I got a question. I belong to a church, and me and some of the congregation are a little concerned that there might be some misappropriations with the money, and some of the bylaws are not being followed. And I was wondering if there's any information you can give me on how to get an audit for our church finances.
Yes. Kenny, are you truly a member?
Yes, I am. I'm a tithing member in good standing. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are truly a member, you're a part of the organization. Therefore, you get the bylaws.
Yes, sir.
In the bylaws, there are procedures for oversight and for auditing and for examining. it's usually in there, and for ousting people on the board, and for every part of the operation should be in those bylaws.
Yeah, I don't see anything as far as the audit, and there is, according to the bylaws, there's supposed to be 2 signatures on each check, and there's supposed to be a treasurer elected on an annual basis, and we've never had.
Well, okay. Well, you got him on that right off the bat. But so what you need to do is get other people who are concerned. But as a member, you are allowed to enforce those bylaws. And you can actually get a court order to make them follow them. But you have to do it on your own. The more people you get involved, the easier it's going to be. Especially if you can oust someone and get some control where you then do an internal audit on your own. But those bylaws, if you want to send them to me, I would love to look at them. Did you ever take a look at the organizational documents?
No, I don't think I have those. But the bylaws, plainly say several things, and like I said,
But there should be something in there about checks and balances and audits.
What happens if there wasn't, though?
Then,
I don't think there is, because I've read it through, and I haven't seen.
Then here's what you do. In the bylaws, you will find special meetings or whatever. You will find board. You will find what it takes to have a meeting or your rights as a member to speak at a meeting. So you need to go to one of the meetings. Is this a 501c3?
I'm not certain, sir.
It's a nonprofit, I would imagine. Some charity.
Yeah, it is a nonprofit because it is a church, so I'm sure there are taxes.
I know, but some may not be. I mean, I imagine it is. Now, not all nonprofits are charities. It's weird, but they're not. Churches are usually charities and they're nonprofit. Okay.
Yeah.
So my question to you is: are you ready to openly express your concerns?
Yeah, I can do that.
That's what you're going to need to do. You're going to write a letter, and you're going to ask to be on the next meeting on the agenda, and you're going to address here's what you're going to say. There are obvious infractions of the bylaws, namely, boom, 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 boom. Okay, now you got those infractions. So who knows how many more there are? Also, and if you're telling the truth here, not telling the truth, but interpreting it properly, and there is no means to audit, you then at the meeting say, I would like to formally request an audit of the church books. Now, they don't have to pay for it, though, so you're going to have to pony up to do it. Or you would like to personally examine them. And if there's any objections, then you'd have to fight it. But if there usually aren't. If there is an objection, you can handle it in 2 ways. You can get a petition of the majority of members, or a quorum, or you can get a lawsuit filed compelling them to do it. So there are step-by-steps you can do. The first thing I want you to do is send me the bylaws, okay?
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is get you on the agenda for you to speak. Now, do you think these well, I'm running out of time, so I don't want to rush right now, but here's what I want to say. I want to help you. And I think, do you think they're serious if you say the infractions are serious?
I think they are.
Do you think the pastor is doing it or someone in the church?
Well, the pastor has full control of all the books.
Is it a big church? How many members?
A couple hundred.
Oh, that's all? How many people attend meetings?
No, sometimes only 10, sometimes 50.
Oh, this is a small... Okay, send me the bylaws. I'd love to look at them.
This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm.
Highways are filling up in the typical 2 minutes. It's midday on Friday. Northbound I-25 stop and go. Starting south of Alameda, heading up towards Colfax. Southbound I-25 really is slow. South of I-76, traveling down towards 6th Avenue.
How did you get all those?
How many elevated portions? Westbound I-270 stop and go on the approach past S. Southbound I-225 stop and go on the approach to I-25. The weather forecast this afternoon with a cool high at 65 tonight. Mostly cloudy skies and a low around 49. Right now, overcast in the Mile High City.
Today we've got a couple
Sitting at
deals going today,
50.
27%.
Traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
You know, 15, 16.
July sale, and they're celebrating with daily deals.
What's going on?
An amazing deal every day, like a free penny, 50% off mattresses and more. Plus, get 0% APR for 6 years.
I'm the guy on the fence.
I'll call you back.
Like a game member.
I
got respect.
What'd you say?
The best deals in Denver on kitchen cabinets and more, but now it's even better. We
How old Ryan
best
was.
deal around on
Sounded like an older guy.
He's an older guy.
just
Like I say,
your granite.
but it's that young mentality I got good respect for.
Cabinet headquarters. The best
But he probably did ask him to help pay for it.
Joseph's correcting your grammar. I just love it. I love it.
You'll be thrhrilled.
Oh, well, we can have a freaking field day. Nobody does. You shouldn't do that, though. It's very, very.
Due to your overwhelming response, we've extended our tent sale through the end of June. Save up to 40% off. True treadmills of elliptical stationary bikes carry the best warranty in the industry. 10 years on all parts, 30 years on motors. And Tucson Trade literally carries a lifetime warranty on all parts. Denver off 15th Avenue I-25 or Highlands Ranch. Traffic today was a little bit stupid. There's so many trucks out north. Fitness gallery, shape since 1997.
I think it is essential for your security and your family's security
from the
that
front of the
we
dealership
let
to this
anybody
parking lot out here.
from
It's
anywhere into
38.7
this
miles.
country.
I've got to
Later
put that
today
big
at
guy
1 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KNO.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission with us. Rolly Purefoy Chevrolet. Ryan's with us from Ding Magic. That's a paintless dent repair place on our referral list, referrallist.com. So let's go back. I think I did finish with them. Okay, fine.
Tom?
Yes.
I told him to email us the bylaws. I'd get those to you.
Good, thank you. And Dan, what's going on with you, Dan?
Good afternoon. I just got a 2011 Ford Ranger truck used a couple of months ago. And when I went up to Glenwood Springs, I noticed when I was getting up that way, the clutch was getting softer when I had to push it in. But on the normal driving here in town, it's standard. It's not where the headroom on the top is back up. But I noticed when I had to do like a 4-hour drive, I don't know if the fluid gets hot where it gets spongy.
What do you think, guys?
Well, yeah, it's just brake fluid that's in there, so it'll absorb moisture just like it would inside your brake system. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be a bad idea to flush that out, keep it from boiling, and it should work better.
Okay.
Is it that simple?
It's that easy.
It's that easy.
Bleed
I'm
it
glad.
down, get a good brake, get a good pedal.
Jan, what's happening? Jan?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'll make it real quick. I've got a friend who's got a 2008 Audi A6 with 100,000 miles on it, starting to break down. She needs to get into a different car. She owes about $7,000 on it.
How much?
$7,000.
Okay. Oh man, negative equity will kill
Negative
you.
equity.
She owes $7,000. Wow.
Exactly.
How many years left on the loan?
Good question. I can't remember on it.
That's really important. You like 2 years left for sure?
It's got to be at least 2 years.
And tell me what the condition of the car is.
The air conditioning is out.
Oh no, that's just costly on that. What else?
Yes.
What else?
I think that's the major one right now.
So what were you asking?
So she needs to get into a different car because she doesn't want to be faced with escalating maintenance bills on the car.
Now I'm going to tell you this. Here's the problem, okay? That she can't trade that in because all of that negative equity, no matter what they tell you, will be transferred to the new deal. So you're going to go into the new deal upside down. But that car can't be worth much. How much is that car worth?
You know, I don't know what that car is really worth, but at $7,000, she's not going to be too far off.
No, it's not that far.
She's not going to be way
But it doesn't have air conditioning.
If at all.
I would fix here's what I would do if it was me. I'd fix the air conditioning and keep it.
Okay.
And just, I really would. If you want to know, the wisest thing to do is to keep the air conditioning, fix it and keep it. And then try to get as much as you can out of it. That would be the wisest.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she could roll the $7,000 into another car
Roll what 7,000?
The negative equity.
She could have. Wait.
No, the car is
wait a
obviously.
minute. Wait, is he saying you have 7,000 negative equity, or she owes 7?
I'm sorry. No, negative equity. Yeah.
No. So how much is owed on the car?
I think she had about a $12,000 note on it.
So is that how much she owes right now?
Probably worth $5,000.
I'm asking.
$5,000.
Here's what I'm asking. If she pays the car off today, how much does she owe?
About $12,000.
Okay, it's not 7, it's 12, and you're saying it's
different story.
I'm sorry. I'm because I was thinking the car's worth $5,000, so she's going to have to carry $7,000.
Is the car truly worth 5 in its condition?
Don't know. 1,000-mile A6 Quattro.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that car, by the way. You keep talking about it like it's a cootie boat.
No, but if the cats go out or other stuff, man, I mean, that
I know,
car
but there's
can be
nothing really
real
wrong with that
expensive.
car. The Quattro's a nice car. If you how much is it going to cost to fix the air conditioning?
Well, the dealer wants about double what an independent would do.
Well, how much?
Probably $1,500.
Okay, so let's say $1,500, which she needs to put in it. There's no two ways about it. You don't sell it without it. I mean, you could, but I mean, so she's got $13,500. She could definitely then get 5 for that car, don't you think, Roy?
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think?
She probably could get 6 for the car.
100,000 miles on that vehicle.
But you don't know till you know.
I'm saying she's upside down. Truly, she's upside down probably, well, $7,500. But that's with the air conditioner. She said that's, in other words, when she puts another 15 in, I'm bringing her basis up to $13,500. And then you're going to subtract $6,000. I really think you can get 6. And she'd be $7,500 underwater. You can't go into a new deal $7,500 underwater. You just can't. It's going to snowball. It will never get better. It will only get worse. I mean, the only time you could do that, if truly, honest to God, truly, you got a big, giant discount and had a very low interest loan. And that's not going to happen.
Boy, in this business, Tom, you see that kind of upside down all the time.
How much, what interest rate does she have? Do you know?
It's high because she had a bankruptcy about 4 or 5 years ago when she got the car.
All right, listen. Why didn't she include the car?
Good. I don't know.
Did she buy it after the bankruptcy?
I think it was after the bankruptcy.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because if she bought it, it could have been included, and it could be she has no personal liability because she already took the ding. I mean, these are things you got to find out. I'd be happy to help, Jan. We need to get you back on.
Maybe there was gap insurance.
Suzanne, let's book him for Monday and see what we can do. Sting Magic, we appreciate it. Save all your problems for me.
Are you a homeowner who's tired of paying mortgage insurance? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing. If you own a home in this super hot Denver market, you've got to hear about another way that...
There you go.
This is huge because when your equity goes up, mortgage insurance can go away, putting extra money in your pocket each and every month. So why not let the salary-based mortgage programs and American Financing make those savings happen through a simple loan refinance? Even if your original lender, chances are